Gaming Today presents Hash Considerations.
Welcome to the Cash Considerations podcast. Today is Monday, December 23rd. This is our holiday recording before Christmas. Everything is right in the world. In studio with me right now, we have Alan Berg at Percent Berg. What's up, AB?
I'm awake, which is impressive in the least.
He's looking good, dressed up, ready for work. It's early. It's cold. And
it's not cold.
It's
where
really
we come
not.
from. It's not cold.
It's where we come from. It's not cold, but we're here now, and it feels cold.
All right.
43 degrees is a little cool.
It's a little.
I know. For our listeners up in Canada, we know it's not cold, and everywhere else. Mo is on his way. He is late. It's the holidays. Things come up. Vegas night props, whatever that text was that is resulting in him being late. He's late. It's 9:05 right now. Got a time?
I'm gonna say 9:24.
Oh, good number. I'm gonna go over. I
Okay.
get the feeling from the text it's a 9:31 call. Reynolds nodding in agreement. Really? Oh, it's 9:31. That's pretty. Yeah.
All right, cool.
All right, so we're on 9:31.
9:27 over minus 30.
For those of you that maybe heard him in the background, that's I Am Reynolds 2305. He is the glue to the entire show. There is no show without Reynolds. He is here making sure everything sounds right. And I am Big Dave Sherapan at SportsBKConsig on Twitter. Welcome a lot of new followers. I posted something yesterday, and it's gotten thousands of views. It's pretty fun. We'll go through that later. But without further ado, we have to welcome a guy who we talk to pretty consistently now every week, AB.
Yeah.
And it's always a lot of fun. It's always, for me, a lot of rush because I'm leaving work after the game kicks off, but I got to get the reports ready. So when he calls and says, "How did you do?" I know. But we have with us today David Payne Purdum. And I call him DP. He is the ESPN gambling writer. DP, what's up?
Not much. Happy holidays. Thank you guys for having me on today.
All right, Dave, let's get this straight right away. This is the corporate show. You're with the boys now, okay? So we're not shooting any layups. We're shooting threes.
Oh, yeah.
All right? And, we'll give you a couple layups, but it's quick. And then we're going for the real stuff. All right? I just want to let you know. You good with that?
Absolutely. Let's do it.
All right. So what we always start out the interview portion with is, where are you from? Let's give the listeners a little peek behind the curtain here. Where are you from, Dave?
I was born and raised in Oklahoma. I lived throughout my 20s in New Orleans. After Hurricane Katrina in 2005, I landed in Atlanta. I live a little bit north of Atlanta now in a city called Dawsonville, Georgia. It is the home of NASCAR great Bill Elliott. Awesome Bill from Dawsonville.
Wow.
Yeah.
Big change from New Orleans?
Yes, absolutely. New Orleans is by far, spending your 20s in New Orleans, it was the greatest thing that I could have ever done. And I miss it seriously, for sure.
Do you remember most of it?
Bits and pieces. But
I've been in New Orleans.
Probably best that I forgot.
I've been in New Orleans, and I don't remember much of it.
You're settled there now, and
Mm-hmm.
how did you start writing? Just growing up, get out of are you writing while you're in New Orleans?
So I didn't really decide that I wanted to be a writer until I was in New Orleans. I was in the golf industry for a while. I was working at a country club called the New Orleans Country Club, which happens to be Peyton Manning and Archie Manning's country club. Eli was there as well. There happened to be a country club bookmaker there. As we can kind of jump ahead to you see where I started learning things a little bit. But then I started finding out that I like to write. I started covering high school sports for a couple newspapers. I worked in Florida for just a little bit. I worked back where my parents live in Oklahoma. I covered Oklahoma State football for a newspaper. And then I landed back in New Orleans, and I was the sports editor at the Slidell Century News. Slidell, Louisiana, is a suburb, outskirts of New Orleans, home of Matt Forte and Chris Duhon. I both went there, so that was a lot of fun. And then when I came to Atlanta after the hurricane, I was working for the Atlanta Journal-Constitution for quite a while, covering everything from high school to college and professional sports, Falcons, Hawks, Georgia football, etc. When I was getting ready, when I found I was going to be a dad, the newspaper industry was in decline. As you guys probably know, there were lots of layoffs, and I got nervous. And so I started freelancing for covers.com. Anybody in the gambling world probably knows Covers.
Very familiar with it, yep.
Just writing little generic articles. And I found that I really, really enjoyed some of the stories that come out of your guys' wild industry. And so it kind of just took off from there. 10 years after that, now in my fifth year with ESPN.
So let's go back to New Orleans and the country club for a minute. You probably got some stories there that you can't write about, and you probably can't even talk about. But one, I want to know, can you play?
Golf?
Yeah.
Well, I gave it up about 5 years ago. I got so frustrated. I got where I could shoot in the 80s, below 80s.
Okay.
Which was unfortunately not good enough to pass what they call the PAT. And
right.
That is to kind of get your teaching license. Because my goal was to be kind of like a country club pro, just work at a country club and, give lessons and do whatever.
Yeah, that's the life. We got some country club pros that listen to the show. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, dreams are awesome. I just was never good enough. And golf is very humbling, very frustrating game. And of course, as soon as I started writing, I found that now this is really what I want to do.
So you go the freelance route for a while, and you get hooked up with ESPN. How much was it a hard sell to say, all right, I'm going to write about gambling, to ESPN? Or did they kind of say all right, well, David, you've been writing about gambling for a while. Bring what you got to our platform.
Yeah, to start, it was a hard sell. You guys know Chad Millman, of course, who was ESPN gambling guru for a long time. He actually got promoted to a high-ranking executive position in charge of content on ESPN. When he did that, Chad and I connected. He said, look, I want to start covering sports betting more regularly and taking more of a journalistic reporting approach, which has kind of been always my approach. I've never claimed to be a super great professional bettor or anything like that. I'm a horrible bettor. In fact, when I bet, it's like $22 or whatever. So Chad kind of brought me in. This was 2014, and it was a September. And then 3 months later, Adam Silver wrote his op-ed in the New York Times calling for Congress to get involved in sports betting and for to legalize sports betting across the nation. As soon as that happened, the coverage and everything just kind of picked up. I went from there. To go back just a little bit, I was nervous covering gambling, coming from the traditional sports, gambling being such a, at that time, taboo. In fact, I wrote under a pen name. David Payne was my pen name, was a super fake for sure, because my middle name is Payne. But I was nervous, and I remember actually writing a column when I interviewed Chad for Covers. I talked about how, the cliche coming out of the closet. I was coming out of the closet. I was going to start using my real name, and I was going to cover gambling. My fear was that, man, I'm never going to be able to cover regular sports. The leagues are going to ban me from writing traditional game stories. I was covering, Atlanta Falcons and Atlanta Hawks games. I was nervous of something like that. Those fears turned out to be unfounded. But when you ask, was it a hard sell? I was certainly concerned that negative stigma that surrounded sports betting, although I disagreed with it, I realized it was there, and I thought it was going to impact my career. So there was a time when I was definitely worried about it.
Do you think that still exists on some level, for guys
Absolutely.
that it does, right?
Oh, absolutely. There's still a stigma about gambling. I think anybody from the outside world, I've seen this is something that's frustrated me from the journalist side of things for a long time. Is people will just grab on to anything. Mainstream news outlets will grab on to something that's gambling related, and they don't do their due diligence. I think they look at it, oh, it's just gambling. And that's how we start seeing these wild rumors floating around, things like that turn out to be not true or just completely sensationalized. And that's always been frustrating. And I think that is because people look at gambling and kind of stick their nose up at it and think, oh, I don't really have to do my due diligence on this. It's just gambling. And that's always been a problem for me.
The stories are good, though. And you had this recent story about Cowboy Eric that you just wrote, and that was a lot of fun. It was a great read. For those of you that haven't read it, go to ESPN Chalk and find David's article. We both know Cowboy Eric, so that was actually, for personally, that was a lot of fun to read that. But it's stories like that do you think, I don't know if it's because you've been those places and you can bring legitimacy to it, but there's a lot of stories out there that are legitimate and, shouldn't be poo-pooed or whatever because they're gambling, right?
Oh, absolutely. I think, like I said, the fascinating stories and the characters that I started to interview when I first started, talking to Jimmy Vaccaro, for example, somebody like that. I mean, there are just these got a million stories, as you guys know. I just found the characters in this world and the storylines around it are completely fascinating. Really fortunate to get to write about them and to learn about this industry from guys like yourself.
So you talked about not being good at gambling, and just for the record, how much you gamble doesn't make you good at gambling, because I know a lot of guys with a lot of money that aren't good at gambling. And, betting more doesn't mean you know more, but have you gotten any better at it covering it?
I think so. I think when I first started, I was skeptical of, and this is going to make me sound really dumb, but I was skeptical that the getting the best of the number was really that significant of a factor. How often did that half point when I got 4.5 and only had to lay 4? How often did that half point come into play? And I was really skeptical of that. People kind of straightened me out of that over the long term, especially if you're betting big amounts of money. Those little half points are going to save you enough time to help you. So I've learned the importance of getting the best of the number. Now, being here in Georgia, we do not have legal sports betting. I do not have 65 different outs or whatever you need to live or shop around and so forth. So from that standpoint, just learning really, that's just as simple as it gets. Learning how important getting the best of the number really is would be the one thing that I'd say I've learned the most about.
Okay. No, that's a very good thing for all the listeners. I mean, we stress that all the time. We, at the end of our segments here, we do a bankroll manager where we pick games or give you, our thoughts. And it's so hard to do it on Monday or Tuesday when the games are Sunday to tell you, you got to pick this side and then you get the worst number. So that doesn't do anybody any justice getting the worst number. But would you agree that it doesn't make you better at picking games?
Yes. I
like to say this, Dave, nobody knows shit. It's just that simple.
I would concur with that. I had a fortunate to sit down with Billy Walters, probably the most renowned professional sports bettor in American history. And I talked to him about, hey, could you win just making picks, just picking winners? And he didn't think so. He's like, you got to do some of the other things. You got to be able to get the best of the numbers. You got to play the stale lines and things like that. He just had to pick pick winners off the market number that was available. He didn't know if he could win, or certainly didn't think he could win at the level that he did over the years. So guys that can handicap and are originators, that do handicap and bet their opinion count, and those guys are the most impressive out there, because it's a very, very, very difficult game. Because as you said, no one really knows shit.
So, I mean, that's pretty cool. You sat down with the man himself. Who's the best, person you got to interview, so far in this, course that you've traveled, or the best story or favorite story, one that maybe sticks out best in your mind? Not just even in the past 5 years with ESPN, just in general. I mean, because you've been in those places. I mean, even going back to the country club days, the characters and stuff that you've talked to. Anyone in particular stick out in your mind?
Yeah, Rocky Roxborough to me is just a wealth of knowledge. Just a cool guy, just a really cool, fun guy. Eclectic with a lot of different interests. He has been a mentor to me in many ways. So you just have why his interests are. Last August, I actually flew into Vegas, and I went to a Jack White concert, a rock and roll show that Jack White is, with Rocky. And Rocky was right there, all dressed up in his tailored suit and looking fancy, and we went and watched the rock and roll show together. So I would say Rocky by far has turned me, taught me so much about this industry. I mean, I still learn something every day. I get too often tagged as gambling experts because I write for ESPN. I think it's further from the truth. I am a gambling student. I am here to learn from guys that are smarter than me about the industry, about booking, and about sports.
That's an awesome attitude to have, David, because we kind of have the same attitude. I mean, people say we're experts, and, we're just booking the games, and we got opinions like everybody else, and you got to learn to get better at the business. You do have to learn. So I would definitely agree with that. So I got to ask you, do you actually enjoy talking to us every week for this column? Like AB and I are sitting right here, and sometimes we don't even like talking to each other. And Reynolds got to sit here and listen to all this shit. And, do you like talking to us every week?
Well, of course. Now I realize it's week 16 here, and I've talked to you guys for every Sunday, and I'm repeating, well, how'd you guys do today? Which games were your biggest wins? Which one were your biggest losses? And those, I know it gets tedious for you, and I know it gets tedious for the editors. I try to find creative ways to go about it, but that is a really interesting column to write, because it's almost like the game story in the fact that it's deadline. I have to turn my Monday column in by the end of the Sunday night game, and I do not know exactly. I mean, I have an idea, but I do not know exactly how the quote books did before I start talking to you guys. So to call you guys, have these discussions, and try to turn out a column within, a couple hours. Like you said, I call AB right after kickoff. I talk to you usually sometime after kickoff of the late game, and then I got about 2.5, 3 hours to turn around a column. So it's very challenging. We've kind of gone to this format where I just call it notable bet. I just write about each little notable bet, a couple of sentences, and each little game, and move from that to that. That seems to work, but it is challenging, and I know you guys get sick of it, and it does get tedious for sure.
It's always, I don't mind it at all, really. I mean, but a lot of times it is tough to come up with something to say. That's the only thing on my end of it. Yeah, Dave, we, all the favorites won. We lost. And I know that everybody likes to read that the books lost more than they won. And so, it's a challenge. Is that the only thing you write anymore, on deadline?
Well, there are breaking news stories, but when I think of deadline, I think of game stories. And going back to my time in Louisiana, when I was sports editor at Slidell paper, you would go to the high school football game, you would keep the stats, you would take the pictures, and then you would rush back to the newspaper office, you would type up the story, then you would actually build what the paper looked like on those using the computer program. It's called Fork at the time. And you would build the paper and put your story and put the picture on it. You want to talk about deadline. I mean, geez, that was tough.
Pressure.
Nothing I have to do. Yeah, that was pressure. Nothing rivals what I had to do back in the past in terms of deadline now. But they're all breaking news stories, and the Sunday night thing is stressful. I mean, when I get done and turn it in, I'm kind of wired for like the next hour and a half. So I don't get to sleep until 11 or 1 or 2 in the morning on Sundays.
Yep. For anyone that has never done that, that is a big challenge. You know,
it is.
It's really
it.
AB's done it.
I know Cork Express real well.
Yeah,
that damn program.
I did it in the TV business when we would go and watch games and have to get back to the station, edit the highlights, and get it packaged for the 11 o'clock news. It was tough. It was a challenge. For listeners, David, I just want to welcome in Motoy Pearson. Just walked in the door at 9:24. AB making numbers in his sleep. Mo, welcome to the show.
Hey, what's going on? Hey, David, what's going on, man?
Hey, Mo, thanks for getting here. I had the under.
Yeah, no. My life's a mess, man. So yeah.
He waited till the move came and he got.
Alan
even
called
on the
me
on.
already. I mean, I feel like it's a running joke when I say someone called me before I walked in. So I mean, I feel like I got to follow that.
Shit was set up again. God,
Oh man,
It's real.
this is unreal.
Don't believe anybody on the show, David.
You guys can see the records.
It's a bunch of horrible people here.
David, so what I have here to ask you about the future of the business. You know, we had the pleasure of having dinner while you were here in Vegas, and we talked about it a little bit, and it was an engaging conversation, and it was actually a little fucking scary, while we were talking about it, because, not that we're older, but I mean, I'm on the north end. I'm almost 50, and the business is changing so much. What do you see for just like sports books in general and where this is all going as another state like Michigan just went legal and all of these things are happening? I mean, it's a pretty, open-ended question, but what do you think is going to happen as, these things start to shake out for someone who's covering it like you are?
Well, at first, I think we're going to have continued consolidation, as you guys are seeing over there in Vegas. William Hill taking over everything over there. Today, DraftKings announced that it was going public. It had bought SB Tech, which was a big sports betting platform provider. I'm sure you guys are familiar with. I think we're going to continue to see that consolidation where we're going to just have massive conglomerates running this instead of so many different individual outs as we used to have. What we had 10 years ago in Vegas, I think we had over 20 outs, and last time we counted, we were down to 12. So I think we're going to see continued consolidation, and when this started happening and sports betting spread across the nation, I think everyone thought, well, there's going to be so many more opportunities for odds makers, but I'm not sure that's the case. I don't mean to put fear into you guys, but I think the traditional odds maker with the computer programs that are now available, algorithms, they are going to become more and more scarce. I think there will always be a place for the bookmaker, especially ones like you guys that are good with the media and are able to tell the stories that come out of the book. So I do think that. And then I would say the final thing is, if I was a professional sports bettor right now, I would be scared. I would think, gosh, this is going to get even more and more difficult to play. The number of outs that I have are decreasing, whether because the sports book just won't take drafts anymore or I've limited it to so little of money. So I would think the professional sports bettor has got its work cut out for it. The odds maker as well. I think the traditional bookmaker, there always will be a place for them. But it is changing, and whoever can kind of figure out where it goes from here will have a leg up.
Thanks. That was
No, I'm destroyed. I hate my life.
Delete this recording.
I hate myself. I started crying. Bust out in tears right here.
No, that was, I mean,
Guys.
that sums it up. I mean, I see a lot of the things, the stories, may become bigger than the actual business. And covering the stories, there's a lot of outlets, and there's a lot of people jumping into it. And I give you credit, David, because you know the business, and as you just said before, you continue to learn. These people that come on and say they're experts, these people that, I mean, I never knew there were so many professionals. There's so many professional bettors that it's hilarious. I would like to open a book just for professional bettors, because there's so many. We would never have, we would always have enough business, and there's more coming up every day. They're in my Twitter feed, for goodness sakes. So that's a great take, and, honest as could be, and that's another thing that we always find, in this business, information is key, and, finding good, credible information, you always provide it. So
I just got to touch on one thing. Like, I just want to know how you turn pro. Like, what, you know what I mean? Like, you just say, hey, man, hey, Mo, I'm pro now.
Like, just within seconds. All it takes is 1 second of like,
I got drafted and everything.
I think I'm a pro now.
Contracts here on the table.
I thought about it last night for a few minutes, and I just became pro. Oh, man.
All right, David, I know we're on a time schedule here, so before we let you go, I just got to ask you, what is under the hat? I've never seen you without a hat, and I just want to know what is under that hat.
Lack of hair is under the hat for sure. The reason I started wearing hats, though,
Dave always has to get it back to hair.
We have matching haircuts.
Eventually.
I'm a pool player. I like to play pool.
Oh, I've heard.
In New Orleans, they had pool halls that were also laundromats. And I would go there, do my laundry, and play pool.
And the bookmaker was in the back, right, Dave? Was there a bookmaker there too? Yeah.
There may have been some bookmakers around, I'm sure. But I started wearing hats there because I would pull it down kind of over my eyes, but help focus a little bit, through the madness of a New Orleans bar. So that's where I started wearing hats, and I just continue to do. I have quite a few.
Good stuff, man. Are you a better pool player or ping pong player?
Pool.
Okay. I'm a better ping pong player. So we'll match up next time you're here. You'll take me to a good pool hall and kick my ass, and then we'll go to one of these places that I know exist for the ping pong, and we'll play a little ping pong. Deal?
That sounds great.
Do ping pong places exist? Is there?
There's
like that's not a rec center. Like, is there an actual?
Oh, I thought it was going to be a basement somewhere on Spring Mountain. That's what I was thinking.
There's those too in Chinatown. You knock on a door and this sliding door opens. Yeah, it's good. All right,
Did you
David.
Just wave him the paddle.
Yeah,
nice. He's in.
Thank you for joining us. Any big plans for the holidays before you go?
Well, I'm getting ready to go see Star Wars right now with my daughter.
Excellent.
Going to do today, and we'll enjoy that. And then we're just going to be hanging around, playing on the new ping pong table. Hope they don't hear this.
Yeah, boy. All right. Well, next time I have you, I'm going to ask you what a typical day is for David Purdum.
Okay.
So we'll get to that
Love
next
to come
time.
back on. Thanks for having me.
Awesome stuff. Happy holidays, David. That was David Purdum. Thank you for having us. Anybody got anything to say to him on the way out?
No, he's good.
Nothing?
Thanks, David. I appreciate it.
Thanks for being on, man. We appreciate it.
Talk to you soon, brother. Happy holidays.
Thank you guys. Have a good holiday. You too.
All right. That was David Purdum, at David Purdum on ESPN gambling writer. He talks to us every week. So I don't know how he does it sometimes. Like, what are you going to say? He talks to you. He talks to me. He talks to Stonebeck. He talks to whomever.
Yeah.
And guess what? The Patriots won and covered again. Right? I mean, seriously.
Yeah.
It's just,
Yeah, it's just, you got to go through it. Sometimes there's something fun, but, and then there's things I want to tell him, but I can't. That's
the hard part,
I mean?
right? Like,
Good
I'm like,
stuff we can't talk about.
Right.
And is what it is.
That's what I tell him, like, Dave, this is off the record.
Yeah.
And then I tell him, he's like, oh, I wish I could. Yeah, I wish you could too.
See, I don't tease him like that. I don't do that. I'm I'm not going to mess with him like that.
He knows the deal, and so do I. So, but yeah, I'm sure he is goddamn good at pool.
Yeah. In New Orleans? At a laundromat? Oh, yeah. Yeah. I was like, he's saying, I'm a student. No, you already learned right there how this thing works.
I think I could smoke him if I had the chance.
Nice.
I can.
I'm gonna book it.
I think I'm all right.
I think I'm all right. I think I'm okay.
Damn.
No, I'm not that good.
I knew it.
Yeah,
It's lies all
I can
along.
play though.
Yeah.
I can play though.
No, I can play
But
too.
yeah,
but
I mean,
there's guys that could, we can play, and then there's guys that play.
If you start looking like you're going on a run, I'm going to bring the secret weapon off the truck, a dryer, and put it right next to the table and let that thing run. Purdum's going to get locked in.
It's like a magic of the dryer.
He's
All
back
right.
home.
Before we get to our nonsense, let me just do this quick. Digital Gaming Today subscription holiday special is $5 a month. You get award-winning content, analysis, stats, picks, casino industry news, and more. A Dawn Best feed with real-time lines and scores from 6 Vegas sportsbooks. Links to casino deals and sportsbook app signups. You even get the Gaming Today newspaper in digital form. Just go to gamingtoday.com/register. Still no promo code for us, boys. I don't know. We got to figure that out. I don't know where our guy is, but I'm sure he'll be dropping in soon. HB at Gaming Today News. Haven't seen him yet, but
I figured he was supposed to be here for the Purdum deal.
Howard operates on his own schedule.
That's very true.
I mean,
It's a very true statement.
I mean, that's all.
Yeah.
So he's our guy. He's not here. He's probably handicapping horses. Is there any horses running today? I don't know.
There's got to be horses. I feel like there's horses running every day
Every goddamn
of our
day.
lives. It's never going to die. Doesn't have a chance, dude.
No, it's not.
Oh.
Except
Like, this is very true, though.
that's a problem.
We come
He's
closer
right.
to getting shut down every day.
Every
As soon as this
day.
guy has a mic full time,
It'll be a short run. It'll be good though.
it was going to be a good run.
Oh,
yeah,
yeah,
it'd be like
it'll be-
Chappelle's show. That was
Oh.
a good run.
Yeah.
Oh, my God.
All right. Let's just jump to some topics here real quick. First off, foremost, Mo's here. He's sitting down, got the coffee in hand. College basketball. Every day, a number one team loses. Every day.
I mean, they're not all losing to Stephen F. Austin, though. I mean, like, some of these other teams
Kentucky
are okay.
lost to Utah.
That's not bad.
No?
It's not that bad. I mean, considering it's
yeah.
it's not as bad. And neutral court, I mean.
Yeah, neutral court. I mean, the line was only a couple.
Correct, yeah. Like,
So, and that's the funny thing.
I need to see those teams lose to, like, I don't know, like Stetson like on a regular basis for me to be like, well, this is getting out of hand now. Like, they're losing to decent teams, right? I mean, are they not?
I guess it just, we talked about it on the last show. And, for the listeners that are listening, it's at GT Cash Consider is the Twitter handle. You can go back and find the links to all the, the past shows and on, Apple Podcasts. Anywhere you find podcasts, the old shows are there, and we've had some guests on. But we kind of talk about different topics every week, and we got on this college basketball thing versus pro basketball thing. It was a great rant between – I left the room for 2 minutes.
Yeah.
And it came
Maybe
back,
less.
and you guys were almost at blows over pro basketball versus college basketball, and you were trying to make your case. And I'm with AB 100%. I mean, the results just don't matter right now.
Well, what are you shaking your fist for? And then what was proven? Like, what was proven? I need an explanation on what was proven. Because, like,
these results in college basketball, like, we put the lines up every day.
Well, here, let me real
those
quick.
Those were two
The
different
NBA
arguments.
results don't matter either in the scheme of things, but the sport is far better. That's the thing.
Okay, see, like, that was the deal. And I get that because the product, they're all the greatest players in the world.
Damn.
But you're just, like, crushing college hoops. Dude,
Correct.
he just doesn't give it a chance. I'm like, no, it is sometimes good. He's like, no, never, except for 1 month, like 3 weeks out of
It's
a
an
month.
all or nothing
That's
until the
it.
tournament.
Right. So I'm just
Yeah.
like, all right, you're just like,
I just
kinda,
watched you guys watch this in the room. Like, I'm watching this game the other day. I'm like, I just saw the ball like get thrown like 8 miles over a kid's head to the third row.
Well,
Kid dribbles on the ground, like ball rolls out of bounds. I'm like, man, bad.
all right,
so
like,
this goes back to the elitist argument. He only watches the good stuff.
exactly.
Like, there's no more watching.
What
like,
other things
could
am I
you-
supposed to watch?
Could you go watch any high school ever again?
Oh no,
oh, my.
dude! As soon as like if Dino's in high school basketball, I'm gonna be like, what are you doing?
Oh, my God. That's just horrible.
Oh,
Now you just sound like a bad parent. I can't,
oh
can't
yeah,
handle
no,
this
that's
anymore.
agreed too. Yeah, that's. I'm just. We've
not-
talked
I'm
about
not
I'm a
agreeing
bad
to that.
person. It's fine.
Yeah, I'm not good. I'm not a good person.
Oh, my. Where did this conversation go? Now it started with college basketball, and now we're not good people. What the
No.
fuck are you guys talking about? Reynolds say, rein it in, or let's let it go. Well, I mean, I don't even know where to go from there, but I really don't.
Let's talk about what we should be talking about.
What's
it's
that?
here. It's
What?
time. It's Niners at Seahawks.
Oh, we got
possibly Marshawn Lynch coming back to play
my
for Seattle this
God.
week.
Who said that? That's real?
That's on Twitter.
That's not real.
Oh, it's
What?
real.
Come on, dog.
I'm
Because
gonna read
Carson
it.
went down? Is that
Huh?
real? That's not real.
Yeah, Carson's hurt, and then Procise or whatever broke his leg or something, or he's out. I don't know.
Oh, my God.
Oh,
That's not real.
Save it. We're getting there.
Schefter adding on to earlier NFL Network report, Lynch is scheduled to meet today with Seahawks head coach Pete Carroll take a physical. Both sides are optimistic he is back wearing 24, and that would mean Lynch and the Seahawks versus the Niners for the NFC West title.
I've seen a couple sharper guys laying 3 with the Niners this morning, and I'm just like, well,
Yes,
I mean,
had to be.
it's rough. It's tough on all these guys. It seems right, but it's not. It's not right.
Before we get to the NFL, because that is the conversation we have
Also,
to have.
Raiders Broncos is
Yeah. It's
Yeah.
live now.
Yeah.
Yep, we got
big.
a couple of talking points. The NFL are easy,
yeah.
but do we want to mention anything about the college football, either that we just saw over the weekend or what's coming up?
Yeah, I mean, it's bowl season. There's, gamblers care.
I didn't know if you had anything set up or lined
Well,
up.
no, not really. I mean, I just wanted to touch on the game I wanted to talk about was the steam line move on SMU.
Yeah.
I don't know if I know you guys saw it, but
Right.
for the listeners that aren't familiar, SMU was a 3 to 3.5 point favorite against FAU, right?
Yep.
Florida Atlantic, for those of you that are challenged like myself. After you said FAU, I said, no, it's not FAU. And I looked, and it was Florida Atlantic. Fuck, that is FAU.
Yep.
Um,
Same.
I was listening. I just wasn't paying attention. Just like you can hear Jimmy, but you're not listening.
That's right.
Yes. And for
Woody
those
Harrelson.
of you,
Yeah.
yeah. Apparently, FAU suspended 5 offensive starters for whatever reason, but nobody knew. Somebody knew because the landslide of bets on the ticker. I was actually on the radio with Koken, so I have my approval code off, but I can still see the ticker. And I want to scream, what's going on with SMU? Hello, -3.5, -4. What? And then somebody saw it. -5, -5.5, -6. What the fuck is going on? 2 times, 5 times, 2 times, 5. Lay it. Just lay it all the way up. In 3 to 5 minutes, we were at 8. And then Koken tells me on the radio, Dave, it's because I said, you guys are experiencing a live line move.
Right.
Whatever, something's going on. People are doing things.
Yeah, no,
whatever the modism that we can find for this, it's
No, they're
happening.
doing something. All of them
And-
are doing something.
Yeah, and the line just went to 8, and I still didn't get an alert. Dave Koken told me on the radio, oh, it's on College Football Unlimited. They just suspended 5 guys, and here they are. The guy that caught the most passes, the guy that led the team in rushing,
Yeah.
and some other key players.
No, it was like basically all key players for the most part.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyone
It's-
see the final score of that game?
Oh my God, SMU is just a train wreck. They are terrible. I talked about it with Metcalf as well. Like we were watching it, and I was like, the way that they started the season, considering like to how they kind of fell back and then finished it, I was like, man, like Sonny Dykes needs to be arrested, or somebody needs to like own up to how bad they played. Like it was really bad.
Yeah.
And I guess like one of SMU's top receivers, not James Prochet, but the guy on the other side, he got like he was out. I don't know why he ended up being out. None of that even really mattered. I mean, and like even the total, like which I was telling you when we were texting, that was the first thing that went.
Right.
Which was like 1.5, 2 points, like out of nowhere.
Yeah.
So I'm thinking to myself, like, wow, like that's interesting. Obviously, like the weather is like a big deal.
Do you think
And
they
then-
were gonna? They all thought they were gonna walk all over them, like the team did. Once they heard about all those players being out, they're like, oh, we're gonna kill this team.
Wait,
And
who?
then- like
FAU said-
SMU went in thinking that.
Maybe I don't know. Maybe I thought they were confident enough to like do that. I don't even know if the players had that much of a big deal.
The players knew that FAU suspended the guys.
Right.
So
yeah.
they probably, I don't know if that affected them mentally. It certainly affected them on the field because they got their asses kicked.
Dude,
It's 52-28 was the final, and it wasn't even that close.
FAU was up big late, and they were still throwing 30-yard
Like,
passes.
it was-
Nobody cared.
Yeah,
I kept looking up. Like,
Somebody
they're
cared.
still throwing deep post patterns, like with 4 minutes left. I'm like, this is an absurdity.
I've been trying to tell you guys that's all that matters. Nobody cares.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. Nobody. Well,
Yeah.
some people do.
So there were some people that cared on
It's a
Saturday.
small amount. Anyone who, dude, the first half total was just an abomination.
It was.
Dude, it was 7-0, I think, in the first quarter.
Yes, it was. It was 7-0.
Scored 21 in the last, 2 minutes of the game.
21-14 was the score of the second quarter.
Dude, that last 2 minutes was a nightmare.
It was
I
unbelievable.
remember just looking back at Kyle and, saying, well, I mean, we're never going to win again. No one's going to win again.
Well, you had the under.
Of course.
Everyone else did, too.
Simple.
And in the book, we had the NFL, had the triple header on Saturday. That Texans-Tampa Bay game.
Yeah.
And we'll get to that in a second. But we were watching that Florida Atlantic game like we were Florida Atlantic alumni. We're like, just because that one feels better. When you win those, it just feels better. I don't know why. Every game is just the game.
More or less
like
justice, I think.
Justice.
Yeah.
Yes. That's what that one felt like.
For anyone that doesn't understand, but that's how we feel for the most part.
And that was the Cherubundi Bowl. And I must have said it 15 times on Saturday, Cherubundi, just because it's fun to say again. And it actually says a tart cherry drink on it. I didn't know that. I thought that was Junkyard's original expression. That was actually the actual tag phrase on there. So thank you for the Cherubundi Bowl. It will be one that I will at least remember for whatever reason. But was there anything else memorable that you saw Saturday? I mean, Washington destroyed Boise State here in the Vegas Bowl.
Yeah, that was a big one. And then I gave out App State, and they let UAB get off to that 14-0. Yeah, and then scored 3 after App State turned it on and smoked them, which they still didn't get there. But I think the FIU Arkansas State game, which was pretty close. Unfortunately, I had FIU that game, but no, I think I kind of promoted it on Twitter that as soon as Ark State kind of got that 8-point lead and ended up winning, they had an emotional embrace Blake Anderson, for what they had to go through the season, his wife passing away and a lot of family issues going on. Story was okay. And then a lot of people kind of they clinged on to him, and everyone was hugging him on the sideline before the game ended. So that was, if anybody was watching and cared about any of the bowl games, that was probably one of the bigger things that I kind of looked at. And then Kent State putting a 50 on Utah State was pretty fun.
Action.
Yeah, I was at McFadden's. I was drunk, man. I remember looking, and we were winning on that game the whole time, but I kept looking back up at it and saying, wow, this is pretty good. This is fun.
No, you had the name of the place right in the text you sent me, McIdiots.
Yeah, McIdiots.
Yeah.
Which, in that moment, it was McIdiots.
Reynolds, take them off the list of potential sponsors.
Oh, 100%. I won't take $1
It's not even
them.
that bad of a place.
Oh, it's the worst.
But that moment, it was McIdiots.
It
was, man. I mean, that's all I know.
Oh, there were some McIdiots in the books all weekend as well. I can tell you that. I don't know. What takeaway Saturday, AB? You were there. You watched the games work, right?
I was there.
You lived.
Real quick, Houston, they're not winning a playoff game, are they?
Who, the Rockets?
No. We'll get to the basketball in a second. The Texans.
Come on. I mean, it's Bill O'Brien. I mean, we've been over this. This poor team's in.
Jameis gift wrapped. I mean, it's the holiday season. He gave them 4 interceptions.
He is must-see television because you have no idea what he's going to do. He might throw a 60-yard rope for a touchdown, miss a guy from 5 yards away, or throw the worst pick six you've ever seen in your life.
You get it all.
Or an incredible fumble.
Mystery box.
Dude,
mystery gift.
It's insane.
No, at the last drive, I think it was 1:20 left when they got it on their own 10.
Mm-hmm. Oh.
And the guy that was commentating, I didn't get his name, and I still want to get a clip, but he was saying this could make or break Jameis's career. I said, "What in the wow? How can that even be possible?"
I remember this comment.
I remember saying just get to the 50. I don't even know if he wants to score or not. I mean, just and obviously he throws the pick anyway.
Right, but you're don't turn the ball over. At that point, it's gonna fall 3.
I wish we could play that clip on air, if we had it. It's incredible. It's the funniest thing I've ever heard, and he was dead ass serious.
Yeah.
Holy
terrible take,
dude.
He's got to sell it the game all the way to the end.
Oh yeah, no, it was great.
That's fine.
Classic oversell.
I remember hearing it, and I was looking around, and everyone they were wow, he said that on air, and it was just very, very funny, man.
I'm saying he's not back. He's not coming back.
No.
Andrew Luck is going to take over. That was a take from.
That was a while ago.
That's going to happen, I think.
Speaking of
Arians
which,
and Luck.
I went back and listened to a little bit of our first shows of the season talking about, and I only got through some of the NFC. I'm going to go back and listen to it this week.
Was it that cringeworthy? Like
no,
you couldn't get
actually,
through it?
no.
Okay.
I was. There's 100 things going on. I couldn't, getting time right now with kids and family and everything going on. Impossible. And they're like, "You're listening to the podcast again?" I'm like, "I'm trying to take notes." They don't. Nobody cares. No, you talk about nobody cares.
See?
Nobody fucking cares.
That's it, man. That's the phrase.
Yeah. But there were a couple nuggets in there, and one of them was the Tampa take. That we had all kind of agreed upon, but you started it about them having the potential to do this, and you had all these things. I mean, there's so much potential there, and Jameis just showed flashes of it.
If their defense was playing as well now as it could
in the
beginning, they might have been they still might have found a way in the playoffs this year.
For sure, 9 wins. They would have. Yeah. No question.
Just unstoppable overs for Bucs
man.
games.
Yeah.
Oh, my God.
Nonstop.
Yeah.
All right. Do you got any bowl games this week? I mean, we got, tonight we have the Gasparilla Bad Boy Mowers Bowl. Tomorrow, the Hawaii Bowl, BYU, Hawaii, SoFi, Hawaii Bowl. Anything, or even Miami, Louisiana Tech, Pitt, Eastern Michigan. I got nothing on these games. I don't even want to watch them all the way up until Saturday.
I think just
the big games.
Considering tonight's bowl, UCF also had a few guys that kind of got left out, and the line was at 17. Crept down. We actually had it at 14.5 for a little bit. Took some bets. Now I think it's at 15.5, maybe creeping back to 16.
Yeah.
I don't know. It just seemed. I think we agreed that it's almost a game that Marshall likes to be in, especially getting as many points as they are. But they've been pretty solid throughout the year. It's kind of hard to really figure out how UCF has been, just, kind of being one of the national champions and then kind of coming into a game like
back
this.
To back.
Right, exactly. Well,
yeah.
And,
the hand motions are unbelievable.
Yeah, that was
like you did it last week when you said Luka was calling for the ball. You're like, that's a heat check, like no other.
Porzingis.
Porzingis.
Yeah, the unicorn.
Yeah, and now when you do that, when you get going and you're giving like hand signals, I mean, it's I feel like I'm at the line of scrimmage and he's calling a play, like run the 7.
But considering where this number ends up, I think Marshall's a good play no matter what. That's how I feel.
Right.
And then, I don't know, the Pittsburgh. We opened Pittsburgh, I think, 16.5. I mean, it got steamed down all the way to like 10,
Holy
10.5.
It's 11.
I know, yeah. I think it's going to keep going back up. If anybody wants to buy Pittsburgh right now, they're just incredibly better on defense. I don't even think Eastern Michigan should be in a game like this. I'm probably going to eat my words, whatever. But Pittsburgh should be fine. So, I mean, if I had to give out anything, Marshall and Pittsburgh are two plays I like.
Okay. Friday, there's a whole slew of games that pretty much shit. North Carolina Temple, Michigan State Wake, Oak State, Texas A&M, USC Iowa, Washington State, and Air Force. Anything in any of those games?
Man, I think just the Pac-12 in general in years past have not been really good in bowl games.
Terrible.
Just horrible. So Ferentz, who is basically the opposite, will have his guys up and ready.
Short number. That thing's only 2.
Just looks so weird. You know what I mean? And I think it looks more weird on the side of taking the 2, which I don't think is really that key. Laying, I mean, it was 1, maybe a pick up until now. So I think Iowa's a pretty decent move here. Clay Helton got reinstated, but I don't know. Iowa's a pretty strong team, especially in bowl play. I think laying 2, a short number like that, should be good here against USC.
Why is Notre Dame a 3.5-point favorite against Iowa State? That's the most perplexing line of anything we got leading up to the playoff games. I don't get it.
I thought generally that it hasn't moved is why I'm more confused.
Right, that's what I mean.
Right, yeah. I mean, I don't know. I can't tell. Campbell seems like he's played pretty good in his last couple bowl games, but Notre Dame they're still incredibly talented. I mean, they're a real good football team. The loss to Michigan kind of hurt them on the back end. But for me, I think it just seems really short. Like, I think it should be like maybe 5, 5.5, 6. That being said, I wouldn't go out and say like you got to lay Notre Dame.
Right. That's what I mean. Like the number looks. This is one of those where it's now we're staring at it for 2 weeks.
Right.
and it's not moved.
Correct. Yeah.
So what am I missing? Is that as on our side of the counter, and someone looking to make a play, why is it only 3.5?
It's tough. I mean, we're not even getting any like sharp money.
Nothing.
Like they're I mean, unless they're waiting on something or something that we don't know yet until it pops out, and those guys are kind of just waiting to get after the number.
Yeah, they're waiting to hear somebody suspended, or
right,
somebody failed a test, or somebody like that. Nobody knows shit. They're all waiting for the same thing.
And I think they're going to be both motivated to play. So if that factor, I think it's kind of thrown out the window as well. So
right,
that's kind of how I feel.
I mean, we got to mention it. Oklahoma, LSU.
Yeah.
It's 12.5 in a couple places, 13.5 still in most places. Clemson's solid too. It's painted too.
Yeah, we thought that LSU was going to skyrocket after those Oklahoma players got, kind of thrown out there. They had the drug test deal or something. But yeah, that kind of fell through. So we may have taken a little bit of money on Oklahoma that we shouldn't have. I still think the LSU line's still going to be like around 13. Towards close.
Day of game money's got to be coming LSU.
Yeah,
right?
I mean, there's no other way around it. I can't see.
People are going to come to town for, and I was talking about this at work, like this weekend coming up, New Year's Eve is on Tuesday.
Right.
Vegas is going to be slammed, right? Like Vegas is just in general, it's going to be, because it's a longer weekend. They're coming, I think, Saturday and staying until, through Tuesday. I don't think people are showing up Sunday night and doing Monday and then New Year's Eve and leaving.
No way. They'll be here like Friday night.
Right. I think it's an extended, so I think we're going to be exceptionally busy.
Yeah.
Just in general, Vegas, but the books, I think, are going to be, there's going to be a flood of public money.
Yeah, there's going to be some cash coming in without question.
They're not coming to bet Oklahoma.
What have you seen anything on LSU? Like, I mean,
nothing.
You got to be kidding me.
Early.
Yeah.
When we put up the number,
we took a pretty good bet on LSU.
Yeah.
So like last night I went to 14.
Oh wow.
Did you?
Damn.
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't see
that.
Okay.
We got a little resistance. So we're back.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So that's good.
But it was money. That's all.
Right.
It was.
That's right. Yeah. Not actual.
Right.
Damn. That's okay.
Yeah. And for those of you that don't know, I mean, there's money, and then there's a play.
Yeah.
Yeah. So and they don't always move the line. That's the other thing. And again.
Oh, yeah. I mean, when the bet comes in is a whole different thing, too.
When it comes in, who it comes from.
Yeah.
The amount, it doesn't always matter.
Yeah.
That's what I keep telling people. Like, I mean, I got gifted the job of telling some of the media when we take big bets.
Yeah.
And they're like, oh, we had a guy walk in it was on my Twitter feed. A guy wanted to bet $100,000 on the Eagles. It was the quickest transaction ever. It was smooth. Just count the money. But I was on the phone and they, coordinated. Yeah, just take it. Are you going to move it? I don't know.
I don't know.
Like it was because the Cowboys. You already have a mountain of Cowboy money.
I know if I never had to answer to anybody above me about some of the bets I've taken, I'd be like, we're not moving that. I might move it the other way.
Right.
See if he wants to bet more.
Ask him if he has friends.
And that's no lie.
No, it's true. We've done that at the counter. You and I personally have done that.
Yeah.
Been at the counter years ago. We've said the same thing. And you,
oh man,
you know what we're talking about. So it's hard to convey that. And I don't think you can teach it. Like it's hard. You got to
be in it.
You got to be in it.
Yeah, you got to be in it and understand the difference of like what a type of bet is. And again, like I have so much more respect for what's bet last night and Monday than I do for anything that's bet on Sunday.
In the NFL.
Yeah, absolutely.
Oh,
it's
for
not
sure.
even close.
Yeah, it's without question.
Yeah.
But I'll ask you guys this. Do you have, and I don't know if I'm becoming just more cynical or just been in the business too long or whatever, but I respect both sides of the counter. But as far as like, wow, that guy played this, it's money. That's gone for me. Like very rarely do I go, wow, all right. It gives me pause, or it gives me like, and not that I don't respect anyone's plays anymore, but I mean, do you guys see that? Or are there still guys you got like in your mind or in your pocket or in your past where you go, fuck, that's good. Like when it comes.
The thing I've warmed up to is like, I like the guy who doesn't bet a lot all year. That like maybe I haven't seen his name hit the ticker in like 2 months. And if I see him and he comes with something like
whatever,
I don't know, Bengals under, I'm like, whoa. Like what? Like, hold on. Like, we don't have a bet on this game, and this guy wants that, and I haven't seen him in 2 months. Okay, that's probably good. And then the line closes like 3 points lower. And I'm like, okay. And that's just a like literal, just off my top of my head example. But there are a few guys that I've looked up, and like I try to remember their names instead of the guys who bet all the time. Because I feel like when you bet all the time, you got so many things going on in the background that even though you're sharp classified, like it's not a sure thing. Right. You don't know what they're doing, I think is the biggest thing I always say. I mean,
No, they are 100%. I mean, like, no, I think
a lot of games are being played.
I think there's like 2, maybe 3 guys that I could probably, like, it's not like the absolute nuts or anything like that, but I think it's just the certain markets they may bet or when they bet it at earlier. And then those are the ones that I'll be locked in on, just seeing where the market's going to be, like on Friday, Saturday, or Sunday. So I think those are the ones I lock into, not just for myself, but just kind of booking towards that game or whatever market it may be. So, because like you can get guys that like there'll be a stale number until like a first half bet, 5 minutes until the game starts, and a guy that comes in usually will like blast the number that he wanted the whole time, and there's not really enough time to react to it. So like bets like that, I would look at and be like, well, if it comes in plenty, like, as many times as I've seen it, I mean, this guy knows.
Another one I like too is like if you see like I don't know, a good book, we'll say, like move to like a key number, and it's been like an hour and it's still there, nothing has changed.
Oh, yeah, that's it. That's the one.
Just get on the other number that's still there, because that's probably right.
For sure.
If you watch Sunday night's game, you know what I'm talking about.
Yes.
Yeah. 7 was up early, and I'm like, no one wants the Bears. Like, and then I felt like we were getting those late bets from like sharper guys on principle. They're like, I have to take this. Like, I have to take this. Yes. And then they're watching Trubisky going, why did I take this?
Exactly. That's the other thing that I think kind of we know and we take for granted. But I'm watching your line. I'm watching all the lines.
All the lines.
And I go, oh, what's AB thinking over there? Well, why is that there?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah. And just like you said, if nobody's interested in that 7, probably a reason why.
Yeah, that means we should probably be there also. That's what I used to say. Yeah, you see that? You seeing that went there at 2 and it's 3 and nothing has changed.
Moved.
We got to go.
Right, exactly. So, yeah. All right, speaking of got to go, I just want to throw it out there, and I was kind of waiting for HB, but I don't know if he's coming. What's your favorite Christmas song, Mo?
Oh, man, that's Jesus Christ. Oh, man. I don't know.
Is that a song?
Is that
a song?
Do you even listen to Christmas music?
I do. I love Christmas music.
Okay.
I don't think anyone knows that.
You can't think of one?
I don't know.
I mean, I don't want to put any pressure on you. I just thought, just fire out something. Reynolds getting the mic. What's he got?
By the way, I just love this that he goes, I love Christmas music. I can't name one. It's like LeBron trying to name a Godfather quote.
Right, that's it. Exactly. No, it's in there. Like, I don't want to just, like, I like the Christmas song, like the actual Christmas song, but I feel like that's just the most cliche answer of all the Christmas music.
Yeah.
I don't know. I can't, like, if
you're anything but a fucking cliche. Don't worry about being
if I can go
good.
through a list, I could find like 4 of them where I'd be like, these are great songs. That's how I feel. I feel like you should just come back around.
AB, I know you're the Grinch. You don't even listen to Christmas music.
I can't stand Christmas music for the
Christmas
most part.
Music
I don't
is nice.
I don't mind like instrumental stuff. Like I'm okay with that. But
Carol
the
Bells.
singing, I've heard the song so many times, and I'm just like, oh my God. But what I will say is my 2 favorite Christmas movies of all time: Die Hard and Rocky IV.
Nice, man.
Of course.
Perfect segue though.
The ones that are you forever argued. Are they a Christmas movie?
Oh, they absolutely are.
100% AB.
Christmas
says
is
they
a
are.
huge
Die
focus
Hard,
in those
for sure.
movies.
Yeah.
Die Hard is. I still can't believe it's an argument.
Rocky IV, he goes to fight the Russian on Christmas.
Wow. I get it. Though.
Oh man.
No, it's not. No, I'm not. I'm not saying it's
America's winning the Cold War on Christmas. Are you kidding me?
Reynolds care to weigh in? Favorite Christmas song, Christmas movie, anything you got? What do you got?
Those are terrible questions.
For me, something.
If I say Christmas song, I'm just going to say anything off the soundtrack to Die Hard because Berg is right.
Yeah,
it's absolutely a Christmas movie. By the way, a while back, I was working on another show, and Richard Roper was a guest on.
Okay.
Fired that question at him, and he goes, absolutely, Christmas movie, Die Hard.
It is. There's no doubt.
Yeah. Simple.
Simple.
It's done.
It's done.
It's done.
Instrumental Carol of the Bells. That's a strong candidate. It's been on nonstop at my house. That's the only reason why it's on my mind.
The ladies love the Christmas music. They do.
All the time. Yeah.
It's why it's everywhere.
Yeah. I mean, I walked in yesterday.
Oh, what's
hoping-
up with Wham? Is that still happening?
Oh, it took me down a
Oh.
couple days ago.
What is
you know
it?
about that, right?
Whamageddon.
Whamageddon.
Yeah. Explain
How
it to the
long
listeners.
can you go from December 1st to Christmas, ideally, without hearing Wham's Last Christmas?
Oh.
Wait. What happened? Like, did you go into like a
I was walking around. Not going to get
Christmas
into
tree?
specifics.
Yeah, no, it's gotta
But
be,
I was like-
set it
I
up.
was like, no, it can't be.
Hold on, wait. Where were you walking around? Wait.
That's what I'm saying. No specifics.
No,
Oh
man.
no!
That's-
Oh, for God's sakes!
Do you
God,
not
damn.
listen
I
to the
said
fucking
I said
show?
a joke.
Not
I was
listening.
like locked in my joke. I was like so locked in. I apologize.
Man.
It was worth it, Mo. You're fine. It was a solid joke.
I mean, I'm just sad now. Now I'm sad again.
All you need to know is it took him down.
Yeah.
Whamageddon is
So-
Well, he
over.
hasn't been talking about it. I
Well,
had to
I know,
ask.
but
I had
it's
to
one of
ask.
those things that you don't talk about because you know it's still going,
No.
and then you let him tell you it's
No,
done.
he was seeing the tweets early in December, and
That's
that's what he was
why.
getting mad
Yeah,
about.
right.
Yeah.
That's it. He
Yeah.
knows. He's got it.
I just been busy. I just been forgetting.
I don't know anything.
Follow us on Twitter. The show's at GT Cash Consider. Berg is at %Berg. Mo is at Heed These Takes. Reynolds is at I am Reynolds 2305. I am at Sportsbook Consigliere, which is Sports BK Consig. That's good stuff, boys. It is the last week of the NFL, and I got to be honest, there ain't that much to talk about.
No, not really.
I mean, quick summary of NFL Week 16, which I know you guys fucking hate the summaries, but
I mean, well, I feel like it has to be done at this point.
just real quick.
You realize Reynolds has a mic, right?
Go. Yeah.
All right, you're on the clock now.
That's it. No. We're going to keep it
like
quick.
you're drafting
We're
a
gonna keep it
player.
quick.
This is take a minute for.
No. I still have take a minute. We're saving that for the end.
That's gonna get cut for time.
No, all right, fair enough.
Take a 30 seconds.
The Jets beat the Steelers. The Duck experiment is over. Fuck. I mean, they put Rudolph in, Duck back in. That was a mess.
They did put Rudolph back in.
Yeah, they did.
Jesus.
Well,
I didn't
they
watch
had-
any
oh,
of it.
yeah.
Still make the playoffs, though.
They can,
Yeah.
but they won't. Right? You think they will?
All they have to do is win, and
And
then,
Tennessee has to lose.
Yeah.
Houston's going to play anybody? Houston's spot is locked.
I've seen
Wow.
stranger things.
We have all seen Stranger Things.
When they both lose and the Raiders make it, we're gonna go, what just
Oh,
happened?
yeah,
my
yeah,
fucking
yeah.
God. Can that really still
Yeah,
happen?
if the Raiders beat the Broncos,
Yeah.
the
the
Texans,
Raiders are beating the
Texans,
Broncos. We'll get to
that's
that in a
fine.
second, yeah.
Texans beat the Titans,
And
Ravens
the
beat the Steelers.
The-
Jacksonville beats the
And-
Colts.
no, the other way. Colts have to beat
Colts beat Jags.
Colts have to beat Jags for the tiebreaker
Oh
for
my
them.
God, my
That's
fucking
possible.
head almost exploded. That
That
was
wasn't
worse
that
than the
many.
fucking
Very
Bears
possible.
situation.
Very
It was
possible.
four
yeah.
things.
No, I actually seen it this morning. I was like, wow, that could happen.
Oh,
I've
yeah.
seen it.
Hit the fucking 4-game parlay. That one's going to happen. Seriously. Raider fans, it's over. Pack your shit and come to fucking Vegas. It's done. You're not fucking going to the playoffs. Bet the no while you can. They're not going to the fucking
Oh
playoffs.
man.
I don't think the Steelers are. I think Tennessee's going to get in now.
I mean, that's the favorite for sure.
Yeah,
They'll probably win. Too.
I don't even know which team I'd want to see.
Oh, no, they have
in
to play the
person.
nobody
They're
wants
not-
to see any
Right,
of those
I don't know.
teams.
I don't know.
even-
Like
They have to
I
play the
can't even
Patriots or the
imagine.
Chiefs.
Oh,
There's no
Yeah,
chance.
Titans. I don't know about that.
Mm,
I don't know
What?
about that. Derrick Henry didn't play, so. that
well,
hurt
Derrick
him.
Henry didn't play.
You're saying
and
they
that
would have
wasn't
a-
good for them.
You think they'd have? Who do you think they'd have a better chance against? Whoever? Like, do you think?
I
they'd
think
have-
they're in both games, no matter who they play. I just don't think
no
that-
one. The
they're not
Chiefs.
going to win.
The Chiefs are on a. I don't know. I mean, I can't even bring myself to say the Patriots is a better chance for it. No, it's just no way.
Cleveland is over. Thank God. I mean, seriously. And I can't wait to go back and listen to that fucking take we had in August because we knew, and if you didn't listen, that's on you. Cleveland, is Kitchens going to make it through this?
He can't.
He
Yeah,
can't,
he's
right?
done here.
Ron Rivera, that's who they should hire.
That's it. You heard it here first. We're going to rack that one and take note of it. So when we go back and he is named, we're going to say, AB told you again. Because that's what he does. He's a man of few words, but when he does say them and gets them out there, we all shut the fuck up and let him talk.
You remember when you had Cabby on and you're like, oh, he says these things, and then he's like, what did he say? And then we're all like, damn, I can't remember one of them right now, top of our head, right? So Errol at Caesars was giving me a hard time about that, right?
Errol mentioned one.
Yeah,
there
yeah.
you go. I know you guys are listening to the show. Case, you listen to the show. Who else? We got to get them all.
Garrett.
This is a holiday special.
Oh, okay,
Give
Garrett.
out gifts.
GJ.
Neil.
The whole
Neil.
room.
Yeah,
Say
yeah.
every one of their names because I know that they're all claiming
I
to
don't
be
know,
listening
man.
to the
I
show.
don't
You
know.
don't even know?
No, I don't know the names.
All right.
No, but okay. So I'm
He
sitting
hates
there.
everyone.
I'm sitting. That's true. Nobody cares.
Yeah.
We're sitting in the room watching the end of that Cowboys-Eagles game, and I go, hey, man, if I'm Peterson right here on second down, play action, throw the ball, try to win the game right now. And then it happened, and he goes, whoa. Yeah. And I was like, see? And he goes, I finally got the example. He's like, you called that. I'm like, yeah, this guy's a winning coach. He wants to win the game. He's not going to be like, well, we got to make sure they use their timeouts.
Yeah.
Well, that's on the quarterback to make sure his guy catches the ball, which he almost overthrew
Which
him.
he did. Oh. Did you ever play QB1 in a bar growing up? Any of you ever see? Okay, now I really feel fucking old.
No.
You're all looking at me like, what are you talking about, Dave? So it's trivia night, at the bars. Do you remember that? And there was a game called QB1 where you used to watch a football game and you had a keyboard that, like the things they hand you now at Buffalo Wild Wings.
Okay.
Yeah.
And you would call every play. So you would call run or pass, left, middle, or right, short, medium, or deep, and then deep, left, right, whatever. And then if you got it right, you got points. And then you could press. So on 3rd and 1, when you knew it was going to be a QB sneak, you called run middle, double, and you got more points. And I went back, and I'm doing what you're doing, while I'm watching the games, calling it almost before and stuff.
Yeah.
And I started to think, I was fucking playing in-game betting with this fucking QB1 years ago as a kid. This is fucking sick how this business finds you.
What's funny is this is how Jason Garrett calls plays. He gets all that information on his little iPad, and he's like, hey, all right, run on 3rd and 12. Let's do it. No,
I don't know where he's getting the
he's
information.
getting it from Philly. He's like, oh, yeah, the Philly people think I should run here.
Go, yeah. All right, well, you said it. We could sum up that game. Dallas is over. That whole thing is over. Just
If
blow
they
it
hire
up.
Lincoln Riley, I'll have a bet on the Super Bowl that day.
Do you think he's going to go?
If the cash is big enough.
Oh, no way. Who wants to put up with Jair's headache?
Well, because a guy like him's going to come in and go, here's what I want. And I don't want you giving me any of this nonsense if we're going to have that.
And Jair's going to write that check?
Well, that's what I'm saying. That's the only way he's there. That's
Oh.
and Jerry Jones might go, I'll find somebody else. And then it's like, okay, no problem.
I mean,
He'll get up and leave the room.
do you think there'll ever be a time where he concedes that
No.
he's not?
When he's dead.
I mean, obviously he's got the biggest ego of all
I would
egos.
think, I
but
would
I'm
think
just
this
saying-
experience should wake him up a little bit, but man, sometimes the egos are just too big.
Right,
you know?
that's my question.
But I think
I wouldn't just be asking it out of the blue
Yeah,
where it's
yeah,
like,
yeah.
hey, no, this guy doesn't fucking know anything. Like, I'm just saying generally, like, hey, none of that shit worked,
Yeah,
my
yeah,
man. Like,
yeah.
zero of that worked. And
Yeah.
they're going to blow it again.
when you're still printing money, it's hard to realize that
exactly
you're flawed.
He's like, look, I still got $1 billion. Like, I don't
Yeah,
care.
like, I'm still making
Billions.
money.
Yeah,
Nobody
so-
cares. Yeah.
Nobody got. Oh man,
I mean,
he
he cares. He's watching that shit on the field. But
Yeah.
you were right about that offensive line, though. It's not. It's falling apart.
Reputation is higher
preceding
than what it really
is. You're
yeah.
right. Because Philly's defense isn't top notch per se. Run defense. They couldn't move the ball.
yeah,
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, Dak's hurt. No
Yeah,
doubt. He
oh,
couldn't
yeah.
make a lot of the
Yeah, yeah.
throws. But my God, I was saying it. I was telling
They had
everybody.
way too many things that were bringing them down. That's the thing.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
There's just too many variables that they can't overcome. And they still might win the division.
yeah. I know the whole thing is a train wreck. Like the game was still terrible. Like it
Wait a second.
was bad.
Dallas, they could still win the division.
Yeah, the Giants are probably going to beat the Eagles.
Oh, I agree with that. That's sick. And then Dallas wins, and
And
they're
Dallas beats
Dallas
the
wins,
Redskins
yeah, they're
in
in.
Dallas,
Oh,
and they win the division.
Yeah.
in. Ugh. All right, the last, I got 30 seconds to a minute. Summarize
Is that right?
30 seconds to a minute. No, I kept
Not even
7
close.
minutes. I got 7 minutes on this.
7-minute recap.
Yeah,
It's
Bears.
unbelievable.
Bears. Recap
Oh,
the Bears.
come
I got to
on,
do it.
man.
What the fuck?
Do it in 15 seconds.
Yeah, quick. Sum it up.
Nobody
bad.
cares.
Oh, they
bad.
do. What the
It was
fuck are
bad.
they going to do there?
Uh-huh.
Nagy still is he going to coach?
If the GM is still
Trubisky
there,
the
he has to
GM?
fire Nagy.
Somebody
It's
has
never
to
going to
go.
work. It's never going to work. And
was-
and he's and the GM's tied to the quarterback, so he's got to bring somebody else in. If they bring it back next year, it's going to be an even bigger disaster.
It all seemed like it was good at one point.
Until it wasn't.
Correct. You already know, man. He knows the deal.
I don't know. I think it's done.
I
Like,
hate
it's
sports
it's
so much,
really
dude.
done. Oh,
Sports
God.
is brutal, dog.
Oh man.
Fuck you up, man. She'll fuck you up.
We'll fuck you up.
I used to
real.
always
That's
say
real
it,
talk.
there's 32 teams and 31 losers.
I mean, just all the teams.
It's all
dog.
pain.
Like, you know what I'm saying?
it's just a matter of when your pain's coming.
I mean, it's like all good and then it's not good. I mean, it's crazy. It's
Goes
just
bad
crazy.
fast.
Yeah, it's insane.
Goes
Or it's
bad
too, or
fast.
the good times don't seem like they're that good. Like you don't know.
Yeah.
That's what I'm
Gotta
saying.
enjoy the ride.
Yeah, man. You know what the deal is.
Oh.
Everyone here knows what the deal is what I'm saying.
Here's a new
Everybody
deal
here.
I
knows.
want to mention. We talk about the Gaming Today digital subscription, yet we should also mention how it all got started. The Vintage Gaming Today print edition can be found in virtually every sportsbook in Nevada, as well as sportsbooks and casinos in 9 other states. You get award-winning content analysis, stats, selections, gaming industry news, casino news, and more. From Oregon to Pennsylvania, it's Gaming Today in vintage print form. If your favorite book doesn't carry it, ask management to contact support@gamingtoday.com. All right, Reynolds, fuck you. I got that in right. I said 7 minutes, and I tried my best to reel that in. That was pretty good stuff, though. But, Merry fucking Christmas. That's it. We got that one done.
That was good.
Let's welcome HB to the show. He stepped in the door while we were doing that nonsense. HB, welcome.
Thanks for having me. Glad to be here. Happy holidays.
The
Happy
show
holidays.
started at 9 o'clock. I just want you know the show started at 9, right? Did you just big time us by popping in now? I'm just asking.
I usually
People
come
wanna
after.
know.
I come after the interview portion. I let you guys do your thing because you're such great interviewers and you get such great guests that I come in a little bit nonchalant afterwards.
Nice hand job there. That was
Oh,
good. That
man.
was really good.
Yeah,
That
Well,
felt good.
and it wouldn't kill you to use Gaming Today news and the tweets before those interviews.
Just throw them all in.
Yeah,
Just asterisk it in.
I didn't
I
even
see.
see
I
the
see the
text.
other handles, but I don't see that one. Or maybe it's you.
No, there's only
No
280
way.
characters. What the fuck?
Just throw the asterisk in there. I'm serious, man. It's hey.
Hey,
You got to get a burn. We'll use your burner.
well,
account.
we need
How's
quid pro quo on the hand jobs, so we'll just
What is happening?
Oh man.
Reel it in. Reel it in.
Berg. What do you have today with the cufflinks and the extra gel in the hair?
Oh,
It's
you
a
got
long-
the
it's a long
cufflinks.
story.
Oh, okay. Nice.
Yeah, you didn't
All
think I
right.
noticed that right when I walked in?
Damn, that's okay. No, I
Yeah,
see it.
no.
Most
Hey,
definitely.
Hey, last week
French
on the
cuff shirt, folks.
Last week on the show, he
Alan
openly
just heard
called
about it, like-
for all auditions. He was taking on all comers. He's dressed up today.
Can't wait to get out
Looks
of here.
great.
No,
Right?
dude.
It's fucking perfect. He looks
Okay.
great.
It's all a compliment. I don't know why he's getting an attitude.
He's got an appointment. I mean, he's got to get done with this bullshit to go get the
Okay.
real stuff done.
No. I don't even know what's happening.
Out walking around, Mo.
Yeah. Whamageddon.
Took me down.
God damn it.
Green Bay, Minnesota tonight. We got a special. We've never really done the show on Monday night to talk about the game. You got an
been a
opinion
while.
here? Yeah.
It's been a while.
Like anybody? Minnesota.
No, we talked about
it.
this.
We did
Yeah.
last week on the show.
I
for
had
the new
it.
listeners.
You jumped on. I got off of it.
Right.
Therefore, supporting you by not supporting you. So let's go Vikings.
Same.
Yeah, it seems like it's good.
Under.
Under.
Sharps on both sides.
They are. Good
So,
two-way action,
mhm.
actually. Resistance came at 5.5. We took a bet of 5.5.
They like the points, though. The public likes the money line. So
Yes.
take that for what you want.
Right. Absolutely. 47.5. Winner of this game, Green Bay wins. They win a division, clinch
Yes.
it. Minnesota
Green Bay just has
wins
to
it.
win one of their last 2 games, and they clinch the division.
Oh, so they can lose tonight and then win next week?
Yeah.
Seeding's still a big factor. I mean, are they the 2 seed? I don't understand what's going on there.
New Orleans is probably.
They're still in
Oh,
the
that's
mix.
right. Oh, that's right.
They're still in the mix for. Might even be in the mix for home field, maybe.
Yeah,
I'm not sure.
well, no, that's for sure. But
Who,
the
Green
Saints are
Bay?
for sure.
Yeah, I
up
think
there.
the Saints would have to lose to Carolina, though.
Correct.
Yeah.
That's right. That's right. Yeah.
Green Bay goes to Detroit next week.
Yeah, if they win that game, they win the division. no
Lions
matter
might be
what
the worst
happens
team in
tonight.
the league
Fuck, are they terrible?
right now.
There's
Crazy
a lot of-
shit has happened. Do they play the last week of the season every year? Green Bay, Detroit.
It's always a division game.
Yeah, but it feels like that's the division game. Remember Matt Flynn threw for 6 touchdowns? He made his fucking whole life
That was a while ago.
career. I know, but
Yeah.
you remember when he did it? He got
Yeah.
a contract from.
Yeah.
He never played. He played one game through 6 touchdowns.
Because a good coach benched the guy that had all the money and played Russell Wilson instead.
Yeah,
Remember it well.
yeah.
Yeah.
It's not a good memory for me. Like,
Oh,
not
true.
even close. Not even remotely close. But yeah.
We're going to get to that game. We're saving that for those of you that don't know. We're going to break down the NFL right now. Week 17, best we can. There's a lot of bullshit. Week 17 is just plain bullshit.
Yeah, we can just toss out a bunch of games.
Yeah,
I
we're
don't
going
think
to do
anybody
that.
even
Yeah.
cares.
No, nobody cares. That's the
Excellent.
theme of the show today.
Absolutely.
Merry Christmas. Nobody cares.
Keep it tight.
Yep. Green Bay, Minnesota. All right, that's game. That's today. Let's go to week 17. Tennessee, Houston. Tennessee on the road, needing to win for the playoffs. They are now, wow, wake up at 6. I think it was, what was it last night?
Which one?
Tennessee and Houston.
Oh man,
I think
can't-
4.5,
I didn't know.
5?
I didn't open that
Yeah, I
one.
think it was
No.
4.5. No, it
'Cause
was 5.
there was
Last time I seen it. It was
there
5 last time I
shenanigans
seen it.
going on there. I didn't like what was
Oh.
happening on the board,
A
so I
lot of
didn't open that one.
shenanigans. Mo, right?
Yeah.
There's some shit
Wait, hold
going
on. Houston's, I'm assuming, he's sitting everybody? Like, are they-
Everybody.
Yeah.
Yeah.
In theory,
Yeah.
do we know
Can't-
that for sure?
I mean, I can't imagine them playing anyone.
What's this Bill O'Brien we're talking about here?
I mean,
They,
They always make it hard on themselves. You know,
yeah,
it's unbelievable.
they did Saturday, but they got the
How does he
W.
not? How does he not check out Watson the minute he's like grabbing his Achilles?
no, yeah.
You're playing Tampa, dude. Like you
Yeah.
can win next week and everything's fine. Like get him looked at. What if it was about to pop and then he got hurt? Like I don't know. That just seems insane to me.
Yeah, run another rollout. That's what he was worried.
Yeah, it seemed like the first play he had to run on it,
Yeah,
and I'm
yeah,
like,
yeah,
this is
right.
unreal.
He didn't even hand the ball off. No, run the roll.
They just always make it hard on themselves when they don't have to.
Yep. You can't make a case for Houston. Just pass on the game. That's that. I mean, there's gonna be a lot of pass. Like just
Yeah,
watch week 17 for what it is and have fun with it.
Keep this tight.
Yep. Cleveland, Cincy. Bet Cleveland -3 with your own fucking money. You got to be serious with that. I mean, serious. They're favored on the road again. It's again. This is your again thing.
Of course.
Yes, which
Yeah.
is one of the best Twitter feeds. If you follow Mo, somebody posted it again. You just screaming again.
that was
It was
about
a-
Josh Gordon,
Wait,
Kyle Wilson.
Oh, yeah, that was that was a big one.
Yeah.
I think there's a few other good ones. The
Cle-
Knicks drafting like horribly or picking up again. Again.
Here we go again.
Yeah.
Look ahead line for Chicago at Minnesota is 7. Will be affected by tonight's game, obviously. What won't be affected is Chicago going to Minnesota and trying to fucking score a touchdown. I'm sorry. I'm not on you. I'm just saying, like, and we got a lot of people listening in Chicago. A
Oh,
lot.
yeah.
Thank you to all the Chicago listeners and followers that keep listening to the show, tweeting it, whatever you're doing. The Bears stink. And going to Minnesota in week 17? Yeah, nothing. Anything?
I don't know. I
No.
mean,
you don't know.
It's probably a
but
lay it
this
right
is one
now.
you should know. It's lay it before
I still
the game.
Yeah.
I still think the Bears are going to get up to play a division game though. Like that's how I feel. I feel like everyone's going to lay on Vikings like they already won the game. But I think the Bears are going to get up to play. And it's not going to be good, like per se, but they're not going to just roll over. That's how I feel.
Okay.
But the Vikings, they're going to get pounded no matter what, as far as like from a betting perspective.
Okay. Let's move on.
I can't wait until Bears win. I want the Bears to win so bad now. I'm going to remember this shit.
Yeah.
I'm going to remember this shit. Yo, yeah.
I will too.
no.
I will too. Indy, Jacksonville. Nothing. Anything?
Raiders only hope.
Yeah, this
Yeah.
is a big game. It's
Raiders
still,
only hope.
it's real. This is a real game.
They
Who has
need
to win?
Indy
Colts.
to
Colts.
win for the Raiders to have a
They need
chance.
like 5 or 6 things to happen.
Yeah, there's 4 things.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We went over it. Yeah.
Needing against Jacksonville is okay.
They still need to win themselves. Like
Yeah.
that's a tall task.
Yeah.
Alone.
Atlanta, Tampa, great line.
Throw
Pick
that
'em.
one out.
Pick them.
Atlanta woke up the last few weeks.
Oh, really?
Yeah, no,
Yes.
they're really like throwing a wrench in what we were talking about earlier this year, which
What's
is like
with the
fucked
sarcasm?
up.
They
No. That's
Quinn, if they
It was
keep
one of those-
Quinn, It's going to be an incredible season
Cannot
next year when they
be.
go
Are the
4-12.
players playing for Quinn?
Yeah, they
I mean,
are.
they fucking
They
woke
like
up.
him.
I don't know. Are they?
Yeah, they are.
They 100% are.
Yeah.
This was one of the things that I wanted to mention about going back and listening to the August show.
Yeah.
He was on Atlanta.
Right.
And made a very good case.
No, we
for
all
why-
liked
yes,
Atlanta
it-
too because of
absolutely.
what. Yeah, I thought it was great too.
Was it injuries or was it just bad shit like play
Bad
that
shit.
took them
and
down?
they've also played teams who don't have anything to play for that they've been winning
in this
and-
back end.
Yeah.
So they look better than they per se, like they woke up. Like when you said they woke up, I was kind of being sarcastic because they woke up against the bottom feeders of the NFL.
Because I watched that Falcons-Niners game. No one played good in that game.
Neither
It
team.
was just awful. Just awful football.
It was just
Who
a
they
flat
beat?
spot
They
for the
had a
Niners.
few wins in the weeks before that.
Yeah, Saints, but I mean that's just
No,
your
that's
regular
the one
division
that they
game.
won.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
Yeah.
That's just your regular divisional game. Like, I mean, anybody. Cardinals beat the Seahawks. I don't care
Yeah.
who got
Well,
injured.
from a betting perspective, you're just seeing a little life now. That's
right.
all.
Oh yeah, for sure,
Oh,
100%. Yeah,
They beat the Jags.
they've definitely been a bet on like throughout
Yeah.
the last few weeks.
They won at San Francisco. They beat Carolina, who everyone beats Carolina.
Oh my God.
They
Kyle
lost to
Allen?
the Saints on
That was
Thanksgiving.
the
They
fire
lost
game,
to
wasn't
Tampa.
it? Rivera's
Yeah,
last
yeah, that was
yeah,
the fire game.
Yeah. And,
Kyle
so-
Allen should be ashamed of himself.
I mean, the losses
What a
early for
fucking
Atlanta were
damn it.
in a row at the Colts, home against Tennessee, at the Texans, at Arizona, home against the Rams, home against the Seahawks. So Atlanta used to be a hard place to play, and it wasn't this year. But I don't know. Maybe they keep this guy?
They're going to, I think.
Yeah, they're gonna try and win
they're
and
going
keep
to go
this guy.
4-12 next year. So there you go.
There you
Yeah.
go.
No, I mean the guy doesn't know what he's doing. Like that's what I'm saying. It's easier to win games sometimes when like your team actually likes you, but you don't have to play anybody, or like no one's treating you seriously. From week one, like that's when it's hard to win games when
Yeah.
everybody thinks they got a shot.
Right. And everybody's healthy.
Yeah.
I just got to update that Bill O'Brien. He just told reporters he has no plans on resting any players
Bam.
for the regular season finale.
Yeah.
That's from Kyle as well. So I mean, it's pretty.
So full shit.
Wow.
There you go.
On Monday.
And they make it harder on themselves as well. So I mean, nothing is right,
Somebody's getting hurt.
and no one still cares. Like, I
Right.
mean, this is kind of how it is. Yeah.
Go back. Who
God
did
damn.
they lost to Tennessee 2 games ago? But then what were the few games before that? They could have put this to bed a long time ago, and they're just a bunch of assholes who make it hard on themselves.
Yeah. no,
You guys,
100%.
you guys all saw that. You all froze. Did you hear him bang on that fucking thing?
No.
I went like this and leaned back and just saw if Reynolds heard it.
Listen,
Yeah. He
it
doesn't
wasn't
even
very
care.
pronounced.
Like it was a soft palm.
It was open-handed, but God, it came down pretty
Start
hard.
using the Twitter handle. Maybe I wouldn't be so frustrated. You fuck.
Houston, yeah. I mean, obviously they could have, but he's been talking about this for 2 years, 3 years. Bill
That's what-
O'Brien.
Probably
Bill O'Brien.
longer,
It
I
just-
think.
No,
even.
it validates the-
Yeah, it,
It
does.
was it all started in that Chiefs Texans playoff game when he let Brian
Right.
Hoyer turn the ball over 5 times and they were up 10-0. He said he just needs to settle down in the second half.
And you can't say there's not talented guys on the field.
Oh yeah,
Oh,
tons
yeah.
of talent. That's the
Right.
thing. But that's what kept Mike McCarthy in charge of the Packers for like an extra 4 or 5 years that he shouldn't have been there.
That was
Like,
almost like an anomaly, though. Like that was like
Here's a new one.
like a whole. I guess like Garrett. I guess is like in
Yeah.
that boat too.
Yeah.
but that's more of like
Yeah.
puppetry.
And I
going
know you
on
hate the
there.
Tennessee coach or you dislike him.
No,
Boy, they played for him yesterday.
no,
with all those
the-
injuries?
they've done better. I still don't like their offensive system, but he's. I mean,
They're buying in.
Yeah, but I don't know.
I was
That-
telling you, a homegirl gave me that in that dream. The Titans never
Oh,
had
yeah.
a fucking chance.
loser.
God, it did. It never did. Yeah, that shit didn't.
For the listeners out there, could you please define homegirl?
It's just a good friend of mine. I don't know.
In
I
a
don't-
dream. In a dream.
It was a dream.
It was
Yeah,
a dream.
Okay.
I guess if I dreamt about her, it might.
Is it someone specific that's a homegirl, or is it just a general homegirl
this is-
reference?
I feel like this is how I was asking Jeff about vocabulary. The way you're asking me about this chick. I want to plead the fifth. Like, yeah.
But is a homegirl a specific person, or is it just?
No, it's a specific person.
Oh, it's not just any homegirl that floats into the dream.
Correct. Right. Yeah. It is a
Okay.
specific person. Yes.
All right.
Yes.
Yes.
Good. Settled.
That's- Bang.
I had a football point like 5 minutes ago, but I don't remember what it was.
Yeah, fuck
On to
vocabulary.
Cincinnati.
That's it.
Yeah.
On to Cincinnati. Oh, how about on to Dallas? They're 11-point favorites against the Redskins. 11. Really?
I think they're better off with Keenum. Redskins, I mean.
Of course they are.
Just,
But I mean, 11. You're going to lay this? Anyone? Is there anyone here in their right mind that would say, That's a good bet.
I didn't see any of that game. I was traveling. Did Dak have an issue with his shoulder?
Were you on the way back from Phoenix?
Yes.
From the courtside seats in Saturday night?
What's our topic right now? Why are we drifting?
Because we'll get to it. Right.
Okay.
Howard caught an NBA game sitting next to fucking Harden and Westbrook, like talking to them in between timeouts. But we'll get to that in a second. Yeah. You didn't miss anything except the usual Dallas bullshit.
But I'm talking about his AC joint in his shoulder. Was there any
He missed
issues
a
with-
couple throws because of it, I think.
Right.
Yeah, but
Yeah. He still
you
had
know,
Garrett calling plays.
they also had 6 drops. Garrett doing Garrett things. The defense lining up with a 3-man front at the goal line.
Nice.
And the Eagles walked right into the end zone.
Reynolds.
So that was one of their plays.
They summarized it. I tried my best. We tried to keep the summary to 7 minutes. They just jumped in there. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm trying. Rein it back in. All right. No more summaries. A pick. Redskins. Anybody? Just pass on the game. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Saints go to Carolina. Saints still playing for possibly the 1 seed, the 2, whatever. They're 13-point favorites against a Carolina team that QUIT
Yep.
a while ago.
No
And now they said, Greer, go in there and get some reps. Guess what? You get to play against the Saints going for the kill.
Yeah.
I mean, this is throwing a kid out there
I'm
to
not
the
laying that,
Lions. No, you can't lay it,
Yeah.
but you certainly can't take it.
No.
No, this is a pass.
Yeah. I'm nervous about taking something like that after like Greer with the worst performance ever. I don't know.
Yeah. You've got to put people in a position to be successful, especially at quarterback. Maybe build some confidence, or you just say, fuck it, and get out there and
Well,
get
they're running
killed.
like a whole nother
What are they
thing, and
Oh.
they're trying out some stuff. I don't know.
Looks like heavy rain in Charlotte, too, for the weekend. So
Really?
Should be interesting with the Saints going
A
outside.
lot of sharp underplays in the morning
Yeah.
from what I've seen.
Think
People
that's
are
weather
pounding under.
related?
Yeah, I'm assuming maybe just
It's
I don't know, style of play.
The
for some
weather
of
in
these
the country
games.
actually stinks throughout the holidays, everywhere,
Yeah.
even Florida.
This just
Yeah.
in. This just in. Weather's bad in December.
There it
Around the
is.
Holidays.
It begins.
Bringing it. This is what he does at Gaming Today News. It's all that shit right there.
Oh, the handle now?
I'm going to try to say it as many times as I can while we're still recording.
Change that SBK config bullshit. Okay.
There
it
you go.
is.
Philly at the Giants, boys. Philly at the Giants. It's up to 4.5.
Crazy.
You said it. Giants could win.
They could.
Should.
Yeah.
Wouldn't surprise you.
It wouldn't surprise me. I'm not betting it because I just can't. I can't bet on Daniel Jones or that coach, but won't surprise me at all if that's a 14-point win for the Giants.
Wow. And that would end their playoff hopes.
Only if Dallas beats Washington.
Jesus
Right.
Christ.
So if they
Philly
both lose,
If they both lose, Philly
Philly
wins
gets
the
in.
division.
boy, that,
Because they have a game lead.
that would be the commentary on the division right there.
Oh.
That would be so appropriate.
Yeah.
I feel like
It's
they should
incredible
both
because
lose.
I liked earlier in the year, I liked both the Cowboys and Eagles over their win total because I knew the Giants and Redskins would be
Would
garbage. And wow, what happened?
When
The Jets.
if you get a chance, go back and listen to that. That's the part I
Yeah.
got to. And the division take on that was nailed.
Yeah.
And at one point, you did say it's going to take 11 wins to get in the playoffs in the NFC. And
It's
we're
pretty
like,
close.
that's a lot, right?
Pretty close, yeah.
It was good, really good. Here he goes again with this fucking guy.
Again.
You can go any fucking time you want. He's over here.
I'm in Reynolds' head because I know what he's thinking. He's like,
For
move
those
it
of
along.
you- Reynolds was up all fucking night. He's tired. Let him go. He's listening
Now you're
to the
selling me
levels.
out?
No. He's over. Howard's over here going like this, like run the play. We talk about hand
Hurry
motions.
up. Hurry
Yeah,
up offense. We're in a 2
Well,
minute.
it's fucking Christmas. This is the holiday show. I'm on the clock. I
Okay.
know how much time I have.
I know other hand motions.
Thank you. I believe you do, too.
Okay.
Pittsburgh at Baltimore. Baltimore's not playing for anything. They're a 1-point fucking favorite. What does that say? What does
Says
that say?
The
line
Pittsburgh
says
doesn't have a quarterback. That's what it says.
If the game doesn't go under, then football's not real. I'm not even kidding. Traditionally, like a game like this, it
Yeah.
screams like,
Right.
what was that
I
total?
don't know,
again?
what is it, 14-10 or something?
Every
What
special
is it?
teams player will be out there playing regular
Yeah,
plays.
it's going to, that's it. It just seems like, I don't know, like, especially with Baltimore locking it up, it just,
the total is 40.
And I froze for a minute yesterday because Lamar got pasted once
okay.
by Cleveland.
Yeah.
And everybody went, ooh. And they were thinking on the sidelines, okay,
Right.
there's another season coming up. We ought to chill.
Yeah. Like, at some point, he keeps getting hit, but he's an athlete. Man, my man can play, and he gets up and he smiles. He pats the guy in the ass. He does it all. I love the guy.
I honestly
love
think it has to be a freak accident for this guy to get hurt. I'm telling you. Like, he could take shots and be fine.
He's 21.
Right. I'm just saying, like, because everyone's like, oh, my God, he's taking these hits.
Yeah.
I think he's okay.
Yeah.
He knows how to take the hits. It has to be something freak.
And he
like,
get hit in college, which helps too.
Right.
Like,
Oh,
he
my
was
God.
too elusive. They couldn't touch
yeah,
him.
it's
So
true.
he's got a lot of like.
Got a
Yeah.
lot of mileage.
I mean, I can't
left.
imagine what
Yeah.
he looked like in high school.
Oh, my. Oh, man.
Just-
he's got a crazy. I have to show you after the show. A crazy clip
highlight.
from. Yeah,
nice.
it's insane,
I gotta
dude.
see it.
They ought to just have RG3 practice all week and play. That's all.
Yeah.
That's probably what's.
No,
happening,
I'm
I would
hoping
think.
that's the case.
Knowing that, they're still a 1-point favorite. Steelers are losing. There's no fucking way.
I can't see it. I don't know.
There's no fucking
I don't
way.
know. I don't know yet.
The Steelers have gone under 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 in a row in 9 out of the last 10.
Yeah, total seems.
Football is not real.
Yep.
If this
That
game
shit don't
doesn't
go-
go on.
I don't know.
That one, has to be coined. That may go on the first T-shirt.
That's
if
it.
if that one doesn't come in.
The second T-shirt.
What's the first?
Oh,
one?
yeah.
Don't sweat minus 110.
Oh yeah, that's right. I forgot about that.
Oh man.
Jets Buffalo not playing anybody. Right? What the fuck are they playing for? They're a 1-point favorite against the Jets. Are we just guessing? Like the lines, you're just guessing, right? I mean, just pick a
These
game.
games are no different than today's Gasparilla Bowl. I'm telling you.
I know, right?
Who gives a fuck?
Who gives a
Well,
fuck?
and you're gonna throw your money at this? Best of luck. Go play roulette. Seriously, folks, take a shot.
Jets at Buffalo, the spread is 1. The total is 37. Talk about real and under.
Yeah.
Guys are playing for jobs, livelihood. And if you've ever been in an NFL sideline or, in a locker room, I have. These fuckers are, it's dog eat dog world. They have to play to keep getting a contract. Week 17 counts the same for that as it does anything else. It just doesn't count for the standings. And with Buffalo, with a playoff spot clinched, they're not going to play anybody. They're still favored.
Yeah. Jets are like
Thanks,
the kings of winning meaningless games. So,
Yeah.
I don't know. What could you throw out? Like,
Well,
it seems like it's all like mashed in and dumb.
big season win pending for the Jets that falls 7 if they win this game.
Oh, wow.
So that will swing a lot of money in sports books all over that book the season wins. I know personally that we're rooting for the Bills to close that one out. Miami goes to New England. They're fucking 16.5-point favorites. Oh, come on.
Can't.
And he's going to be running him out there when the 4 minutes left to run the 2-minute drill
Yeah.
because we got to run it in the playoffs.
Yep.
Tom, get out
Nobody's
there,
getting.
run it. let's go.
Nobody's.
Yeah.
Everyone's playing.
Yeah.
In the Pats game.
Dolphins plus 16 minus 1 or 165.
Yeah?
Bankroll manager.
Yeah.
It's already done.
It makes sense. It does. Miami's playing for that guy, man. That's
He's
a good coach.
I think.
That's a
from
good
what
coach.
I've seen.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's a good
Has
coach.
no talent, and they're in games, and
Fitzpatrick looks like he's rejuvenated. The whole thing. It's that.
well, that's always a week to week basis.
Yeah.
Who knows what you're getting next week? But
Green Bay's at Detroit. We don't know what to make of that based on tonight. The line's 10. You can't take Detroit. Not with real money. You can't do it. Not even in contests. You can't do it. Chargers go to Cincinnati. 7.5-point favorites. The Chiefs are. Chargers again. Are we serious with the Chargers? Like it's over. You've been talking about moving the team. I don't know what that was yesterday, but it wasn't even football, right? Football's not real. I don't know. Chiefs are nothing there. Just don't bet the game. That's just fucking just
That whole
stay
thing
away.
was
Yeah.
incredible.
Yeah, stop.
Like that build up, then build down.
Yeah.
Like
And
that
then
was
just-
that was like a school of my thought. Like that was good.
We're
I
hanging
like
out
that.
a lot. The texts are outstanding. I'm getting it all. I call it Moisms. I use them all the time.
Oh man,
My kids say, what do you mean simple? Just let it go.
it's
You gotta-
it is
yeah,
what it is.
yeah.
It's what it is.
Arizona at the Rams in the ultimate meaningless game. 7.5.
I hate that
Who
line.
gives a shit?
I hate.
You
that
hate the line?
Yeah, I don't know.
Why?
It just doesn't seem. I don't like. What does that even mean? Like I don't know. I can't even imagine. Like it could be to me. It could be like 9.5. Really. Like I don't know what.
Give me
7.
fucking 4.5. Who cares?
It
No one's gonna
seems-
bet it. No one's gonna watch
I'm not
it.
really a fan of that. Jeez.
There's 2 games left on the card that we got to discuss. One is Oakland at Denver. Oakland somehow still has playoffs hopes alive. I can't even believe it. I'm glad you pointed it out. But more importantly, Oakland and Denver is our side bet.
Time limit on your side bet discussion.
We don't
This
have.
is good.
Hold on, we don't have any bet. Like, what is going on? I don't even know if I wanted to text you or talk to you like personally right now, but we have nothing on this.
There are
I
no
feel like-
parameters. What is the bet?
yeah, no, this should be like for something. Like,
Oh, it's for something. I mean, it's for the night tab at Parkway. It's for something like that.
yeah,
I mean,
no,
you
that's.
know, I mean,
I think
but
that's the move.
I know the circles you run in,
Okay.
and I know if I have to pay, and we talk about people owing all the time.
Right.
I know if I owe, I'm going to pay. And I know, I don't mean just with the money. I'm going to pay for a day or two.
Right.
Whatever it is, it ends up. It's going to be fucking fun.
It's not
and
gonna-
we're going to invite people, and I'm going to pay.
Where could this take place? A Parkway Tavern?
It could be Parkway.
Give us some other options. Where else could it occur?
I like right now. I have no idea. I'm like the worst person on the spot when
It's-
I'm on the spot. That makes any
It's
type of
definitely not that
sense.
place we talked about earlier.
McIdiots?
It's McIdiots.
Yeah,
It's
yeah,
definitely
yeah.
not
No
gonna be
McIdiots.
there.
McFadden's is okay.
No, it's not. Not at
Miller's
all.
Ale House is okay. Like
Food
a lot of
It's
these
all
I
right.
like
places.
that place.
It's all right.
Oh.
It's okay.
Well,
I
there's
was
the-
going to say it, but we wrote an article on them a few weeks ago. Marco wrote an article about their food there.
Alan's right hand man.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. I am not happy with the food at that establishment.
Oh well,
Well-
they just have the liquor is okay.
Yeah.
There is okay.
What about the people?
man?
We're talking about Town Square.
Well, no, just Miller's.
Yeah.
Which one?
Oh, no. I thought you were talking about the first place.
McFadden's.
McIdiots.
Oh man, this is
This
getting
is-
out of hand.
I'm confused.
No, wait. It's all bad. There it
Denver's
is.
going to win, and
No.
we're going to push.
No.
And we're still going to go out, and I'm still going
Yeah, we're
to
gonna
pay.
drink for
Absolutely.
sure, without
Yes,
question.
that's-
I mean, I don't care what
yes,
happens.
Yes, that's what's going to happen.
The fact that it got this close is why I wanted to talk to you about it personally, because
Right.
I was like, man, this. And I seen the Lions were up like 7-0
oh,
early.
you were already waiting.
And I was
you
like,
had the
oh,
text
this is-
loaded.
This
yeah.
is right. Like we're gonna cry. Next thing I look up, they're down like 13. I'm like,
Yes.
this is stupid.
You're like, oh, Lions.
Yeah, right. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
exact. I kept saying like they might be the worst team in the league, which I think they are right now. It's
They
either
might
them or
be-
the Panthers.
They might be playing like it. Bengals are pretty bad too.
I don't know, man. Panthers and
Bengals have one win.
yeah, but like I feel like I think the Lions could beat them. Like I don't know.
Yeah, the Lions could beat the Bengals.
I mean, no, that's not what I meant. That's not what I meant. The Lions are the worst. I don't care what anyone says.
that's
The
fine.
Lions are the worst, but they're
Who do they
close.
beat?
I don't know. The Bengals are close. I don't know.
The
The-
Bengals
it's
might be
fine.
worse.
It,
Bengals
Denver's
might be worse.
3.5.
Redskins might be
Are
worse,
you
too.
laying or taking? Denver 3.5 at home. Locke looks like a quarterback. I know it's only a couple games.
My
He
God.
actually looks like. Can Denver have a quarterback? Is this for real?
I don't know.
Too
What do you
early to
think?
Tell. I think.
Oh, I don't know.
I
feel
don't
like you'd
know.
already have
I'm not
like a-
sold on it. I'm not anti-lock though.
Right.
Oh, this is
okay.
perfect.
Okay.
Good,
But
good
now
word.
I don't know if what the Broncos should do with the draft pick. I think they should give him a shot because they've done enough picking quarterbacks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what
Yeah.
I mean? And being wrong. So
Yeah.
just like let's give him a shot this year. If we stink again, then we're gonna need a new quarterback.
Okay.
Raiders are good no matter what.
Denver.
I don't care.
Lay it.
Well,
Last game. The game. We've been talking about this fucking game for weeks. We told everybody back in October when we had either Costos on or Cabby on or Kyle on. Go back and listen to all the old episodes and listen to the interviews. If you got time over your Christmas holidays, there's some good shit on there. And it's funny, and you'll get to know us, and you'll get to know the show. But what we have been saying, and what Mo's been saying for years,
I think
No.
since week 2, but
For-
like for years for sure. But this year, definitely since week 2.
yeah.
yes, we do this show every week, and it's been mentioned at least once every week that it all comes down to San Francisco at Seattle in week 17. That's all that matters. That's all that fucking matters. Arizona outright win last night at Seattle.
Perfect.
Easy.
Set it up.
Set it up.
Lob. Through a lob.
One of these.
Yeah.
Finger roll.
Yeah,
It's
that's
a
it.
finger roll.
It's easy money.
San Francisco, great game Saturday night.
Sure. It's fun.
You know, beat the Rams. Fun game to watch.
Yeah.
Ever thought they were going to lose during that game?
I don't think so. Not
You
even
knew,
close.
right?
Yeah. I
You
actually,
just-
I was almost surprised that the Seahawks lost, and then I was like, no, this seems like it fits into like the
They were
the
looking at next
category.
week. That's all they were thinking
because they
about.
did
Yeah.
that game didn't matter. Like
Because they knew
it
the same
mattered-
thing. All that matters is at Seattle.
That's it. Yeah. Like
the thing I forget every year in the NFL is that I have to remember the players do not care about seeding. So we always get this whole like, oh, they want to get home field. They don't care.
No.
They just wanted that. Did we make the playoffs? Okay, cool. That's all that really
I
matters.
think
sometimes they want that bye.
I think
if you can
I think
get it,
home
but-
field, yes.
Yes,
I don't
yes.
think the bye is as important to them. And I think sure the player, because the other thing is, if you just win your division, that's another theoretical home game that you're already getting, and like I don't know.
I disagree.
Yeah.
I think the bye is more important than the home field.
It may be to
In their mind
the
to get that
coaches,
extra week to just recover.
Oh yeah, I don't think the players give a fuck. I think he's right.
I
it's
don't.
it's
I
an
think the
extra
players
week
do.
or whatever.
I think the players.
Some of the players do.
I don't know. Seattle didn't look like they cared.
They didn't give a shit.
I think it's
Wow.
just depending.
Seattle's very banged up.
Situational.
San Francisco is -3. Heavy 3 in some places. 3 -20.
Yeah.
That number never
3
holds
-25
as the week goes on. No way.
Which way does it go, HB?
More SF.
More SF.
Yes.
It's I don't know. I had a talk with CB earlier, and he says like there's no way it's going to 2.5. I mean, just in his perspective of this game,
Right.
I don't know. I can't tell what the deal like because I'm so biased on it. Just the number alone, like them
Yes.
being favored, I'm just like
Is-
just seems like a disaster.
Seattle has a lot of guys hurt.
Yeah, that's all right.
Is it that easy, AB?
Seattle money line.
It has to be, right?
I-
it's not personal.
No.
But you're
well,
right,
it's
like,
not-
you're-
no,
Because
no,
I already
I've
feel it.
seen,
I already
like,
feel it. I know in his mind that's what he's thinking.
Like-
Because he's like, wait a minute, they're favored on
Now
the road
I'm really
at
going
Seattle
out
by
and betting
3.
San Francisco.
like this is like I mean,
Because if they're gonna do it, they're gonna do it like I said. They're gonna lose this game and then they're gonna do it in the playoffs.
oh yeah, but see, like that's worse. Like to see him the trifecta.
Yeah, I know. That's for
And
everything.
out of
Dude.
character, Seattle has sucked at home.
Yeah, well, it's just fine. But like, where the nuance is like that the Niners don't win there, like no matter what, for
Correct.
years. Like,
Correct.
Once with Harbaugh, I think, and then it's just kind of been it's been bad. But I don't know. It seems
there's
like
gonna be so much money on
just-
the Niners.
Yeah,
it's gonna be insane.
there's too much going with the Niners right now. Like, for God's sakes, it just doesn't seem right.
4-3. Seattle is at home. Straight up.
Yeah, I know.
at home.
7-1 on the road. I know.
4-3 at home.
Crazy.
When's the last time they lost 3 fucking
What's
home
their
games?
ATS at home? It's got to be like 1-6 or something, right?
It's terrible.
Well, ever since the Niners played their like their actual onslaught of a schedule, they haven't played that well.
I know.
What are they 3-3?
Seattle
or
is
something like that?
2-5 ATS at home.
There you go. In the ballpark.
Oh, all these stats. Everything.
Yeah, but how many as a dog?
But that's a
just
crazy
said
how
one.
many as a dog, though?
Lay San Francisco.
How many have they not covered as a dog? Like I'm assuming they've been favored most of the time at home, right?
This is the 91.
You hear what I'm saying?
91%
dog.
of tickets.
Oh,
92% of the money.
oh.
Yeah.
Does it say it on that sheet as a dog? How many times have they been a dog at home this year?
There ain't no
Oh,
sheet.
man.
serious.
No,
I'm being dead
I
serious,
don't know
yeah.
if they have.
That's what I'm like. That's a big deal.
New Orleans played there, right?
Yeah,
And I don't think
New
Orleans.
No, they weren't. I think
Were
the
they favored?
Seahawks were favored. I
They
think.
haven't been a dog
'Cause
all
Bridgewater played.
season. Time.
Oh, yeah, they weren't.
Yeah,
They were a dog at Pittsburgh in week 2.
yeah, I remember that.
That's the only time they've been a dog all season.
That's all I'm saying, man. Like these
there's-
are all big deals. Like
There's no sheet that can help you right now.
Beast
Yeah, no.
mode.
There
Beast
is-
mode.
This is fucking Lynch is going to come
Beast
back.
mode.
the
The
Niners
and run the
oh,
ball.
Fuck, man.
For
What
the
the hell's going
fucking-
on?
It's okay.
You know,
Richard,
You
Sher-
can-
okay,
Richard,
just go
Richard
with
Sherman.
it.
Richard Sherman's going to
Die.
switch sides. He's going to
guys-
put the Seahawks
No,
jersey
he's
back
on it.
on.
No, he's on it. He's
Because
on
you
it.
become so accustomed through the years of just plopping onto the other side of the money and the public money, right away your inclination is Seattle. I get it. It's how you've become accustomed to this thing. I think Seattle is so banged up and so shitty at home, and San Francisco wants a 1 seed and wants to play at home, and they could put this to bed. And I think you're overthinking it.
I've just been saying it since week 3.
Week 2.
Week 2, my
Yeah.
bad. Sorry about that. I mean, it's just been in my head. Like, I do agree, but I mean, like, everyone was just, like, so giddy, and I'm like, dude, the Seahawks are still good. I don't understand how this is possible. Like, they're still good, and they're not even good at home. Like, I
And
don't
that was
know.
a 20-year thing where they were great at home
Oh,
and,
right.
and average on the road.
Correct, yeah.
That lasted a long time.
I don't like the game that we were talking about against the Steelers when they won that game, like, early in the year. I'm just like, holy shit, man. Like, the Steelers aren't even bad. Like, that was a pretty big game to win, and it just kind of gave me, like, the manuscript of, like, what's going to be, and It's just going to be tough, man. For even good Niners teams, they struggle, man, and it seems like it's going to happen again this week. I don't know. I hope not, but we're going to lose. We're going to fucking lose.
I
man.
know. I'm accepting it now. I think you're right. I think they're going to lose. Like I'm just as of right now, Monday. The all-in, dump-in play, and yes, we may be looking at it.
I don't know.
Thinking
well,
it's
no, I
too
get
easy.
what
Like,
HB is saying.
I get
believe
it too.
that. I mean, to an extent, I agree.
Yep.
But just on like how it's like built up, like it just doesn't seem right. I don't know.
Whoever loses this game is winning a rematch.
No,
I think that's going
If
to
it
happen.
happens.
If
Yeah.
it happens,
Yeah.
God.
I'm saying right now, whoever loses this game will win the rematch. Probably at the other person's field,
Mhm.
right?
Oh my.
However this is going to go.
Sounds horrible.
So we need to keep this in mind for when that happens. We can bring that up and talk about it. But on record, you want to give a pick, or you just want to watch the game and suffer through it? I mean, it's the Sunday night game. I think we should. Are you working? Son of a bitch.
No.
You
Well,
working?
no, I'm not working during the game. I'm working that day. But not
Yeah.
during
But
the
you'll be
game.
done.
Yeah. If we want to do a
we
remote,
I think we got to get a get together. Seriously, I think we'll tweet it out. Even we'll maybe have some people join us or something. But we may have to watch this game together and have some video recorded, like of the pain or of the elation
right?
or whatever it's going to be. But it's Sunday night.
There'll be a negotiation point on that at some point. We'll figure it out, though. I promise.
Yes, I want to thank the NFL for switching half the games to the afternoon time slot, which is going to completely fuck up our routine as far as the books. But we have
Cry me a river.
Oh, nobody gives a shit. Nobody gives a shit. I'm just saying it because we're here together.
Right.
And I'm going to get to that in the
Well,
take a
and we're
minute segment.
bookmakers, so there's that.
It's going to
too.
fuck up some bettors, too.
Oh,
Believe me, there's going to be
Yeah.
people that come in to bet. And wait, what do you mean they bet to move the game? They don't look at the sheet. They don't look at
Yeah.
the board. Nobody knows what time the fucking game starts. Happens every week. I had someone scream at me. I was on a little field trip yesterday to pick up some egg rolls. I stopped to talk to Dez, and some guy missed the first half of a game.
Did he lose
basketball
it?
Game. No, he motherfucked me. He said, "It's your fucking fault. You were standing there." I said, "Buddy, I'm standing beside you. You could have come up to the window. It's been up for 5 fucking hours."
What property?
Can't say.
Where'd you get the egg rolls?
Picked them up at the Venetian.
Oh.
This goes back years. Des, who's an all-time ticket writer, she's been writing tickets in this town for, I think, 18 years. She's the mom of the sports book. Pleasure to know, pleasure to work with. The Christmas grab bag or potluck, whatever you want to call it, everybody brings in something. She cooks egg rolls, lumpia, for days to bring in.
What's her background?
Filipino.
Oh, yeah.
Professional.
Flaky.
Yes, excellent.
All that. Yeah.
Anyhow,
Good dipping sauce?
yeah, unbelievable.
Good.
I picked them up. For those of you that have worked with Des, you know what I'm talking about. And that happened to me at the Venetian yesterday. But we move on. Let's get to, I don't know what the fuck bankroll manager was. There's no bankroll manager. There's one game. It's San Francisco, Seattle. I mean, does anyone have a play anywhere else?
Wait, that's the legitimate play of
no,
plays?
that's not.
No, we can't. No,
Tom,
on.
that's my game.
That's not
And
how
it's a
it's
bearish
done.
banger.
Yes. That's good.
Okay. What is it? San Francisco?
Frisco.
Correct.
Okay.
Laying
Lay the-
3.
Lay
4,400
the 3
again?
and
We got to lay
Flat.
25. It's fucking 3
I think
minus
there's
25.
3. Is there not flat? They might be gone. They
there's
might
no
be all
flat.
gone. Yeah, they might
It
be.
And
looks
gone.
like all
I
20.
even said in my opening line that will be published today that keep in mind we're making the selection on Monday and that it's -3 now because I am very confident this game goes beyond 3
Beyond 3, like to 4?
to 3.5, 4. Yes,
Yep.
the
All right.
public's coming with 2 hands
Tops out
on the
at 4.
Niners.
Tops out at
Public
4,
doesn't
in
move
fact.
the line though.
Does
No,
not
no,
at all.
No, I'm saying
I think these guys are trying to move it to 3.5 personally.
if it
That's
gets
what's
there,
happening.
if it gets
But
there,
we'll
it's
see.
a wrap.
Oh,
Public's moving it on a holiday week.
No.
no,
Never.
no way. No
Public does
chance.
not. Public does not move betting lines. Absolutely not.
You want to talk about where you get information like this on shows and stuff?
Great example.
Public does not
is
move lines.
The Seahawks last week were 9.5. We went all the way down to 8.5. We were buried to the Seahawks. Buried.
We took 2 bets on the Cardinals.
Right.
2.
Yeah.
We did the same thing. We closed
It's not.
8.
It's not the right side.
Yes, it's not the
Yeah.
right side. Never was,
Yeah.
never going to be.
Yep.
So I'm not saying what the right side of the San Francisco game is, but the public can come and lay that 3. until Sunday kickoff. If
It'll be 3.5. I'm just
No,
curious.
it'll be 3.5
when
in the next
when they start
day or
taking
two.
that.
Yeah,
That's I don't know.
Yep.
It feels like that's what they're doing because the limits are lower this time in the week. It's easier to move it with the right guys.
Yep.
Feels like a setup.
Feels like a setup. All right.
I can't wait.
Let's set this up.
I can't wait till this game is over with. God damn it.
So we saved it for the end, but we do the take a minute segment every week. And I was just going to go around the table. We'll start with
No, not me.
you
Not
can't
me.
start with you?
Yeah, I'm just in another
just-
thought. I'm
all
in
right.
another zone
Okay,
right now.
stay there. Stay wherever you're at.
Stay wherever you're.
Let's do take a minute now before we get out of here and wish everyone a happy holidays. We went through some other stuff. You got to listen to the show, but we talked about our favorite holiday music. Do you have a favorite holiday song before we jump in here? Take a minute. One particular?
Give me a minute. Let me think about it.
You don't have a
you
minute.
know what?
He's over there writing notes over there. You
y-
don't have a minute. You're on the clock. Is there anything better than the HB pause? A podcast pause of all time.
Don't you want a
The one he
thoughtful
did-
answer, or do you
No,
want
no,
just some knee jerk asshole reaction?
Either or.
Yeah, either one I think is fine on this show.
I think this is the most violent show.
I know, right? I'm like, what is happening?
You wanted heat. You got heat.
What's the group?
It's fucking
Merry
cold
Christmas.
outside.
What's the British group that sang? That it was before We Are the World. It prompted We Are the World. Do they know it's Christmas? It was like the super group, the artists from the UK.
I got nothing. Help.
Feed the world. Feed
We'll look it
the
up
world.
here in a minute. Let's move. To
You asked me about a song.
All right. You got a minute.
All right.
Ready?
Yep.
Set. Go.
I'm usually very negative in any of my take a minute segments, so I want to applaud Doug Peterson for calling a play action pass on second down to win the game against Dallas instead of being like every other coach in the league who just wants to run the ball and we'll just make sure they burn their timeouts and just punt. So props to you, my man. That's why you've actually beat Bill Belichick in the Super Bowl.
Play to win the game. Out. 30 seconds. Excellent take right there.
Solid. I like it.
Still in thought, or are you ready to go?
I don't know. I'm trying to think about something that I just thought of
Stay there. Just stay where you're at.
couple days ago.
Okay.
Oh, go ahead. Or
Oh, you want to go?
yeah.
Oh, he's in. All right. No. Ready? Go.
Giannis had his big game against the Lakers, and he actually did a deal where he put the crown on his head after
Yes,
he
he
hit
did.
his fifth three. And I'm just like, calm down, big dog. You ain't do shit. Kawhi's still the top dog, no matter what. And when Kevin Durant gets back, he's gonna be crushing that same way. So I mean, the love for Giannis is dope, and he's incredible, But I think there's a lot. I think he's pushing past how good he actually is, and I'm just waiting for Durant to get back to claim the rightful throne of being
MVP.
well,
Giannis. MVP.
I'm not good with letters.
Vocabulary can help you with those fucking letters.
But that's my minute.
Excellent take right there. By the way, I forgot to just give you props. The vocabulary thing on your Twitter handle, Alan, is outstanding. It makes me laugh. It brings joy.
I haven't found
every
anything
time.
yet. I usually change it often, so
Yeah.
we're gonna find something soon.
It was so good when you did it the first time and I saw it. And now every time I just see it, it brings a chuckle.
A tear.
It does. It's
Tear of
exciting.
mine.
It,
Well, if
it-
you can
it's good.
find a logo for a homegirl.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah,
that
that's
would be
it.
one to
Simple
fill
as
it.
simple as
there's
that.
there's no logo that's for the home girl. There's no
Yeah,
paper
I
that
don't
can help
know.
them.
Gotta
with the
be a
Niners.
universal
That's on the-
homegirl.
That's on the
That's
DL. There's no logos.
Yeah, that's
Howard, 1 minute. Ready? All right. Deep breath.
A lot of pressure.
And go.
The beginning of next year, we'll have 20 states that will accept legalized sports wagers. Michigan is number 20. And we get on this show and we talk out to the folks across the country and the world and assume that most people know what we're talking about most of the time. And that's simply not the case. A lot of new people are entering the legal sports betting market. And I just wanted to give you something interesting on the NFL. If you think that you can be successful betting the NFL, there's something called the mean, which is like the average. If you paid attention to math, it's the mean, mode, and average. And the mean basically comes back to a central number. 22 of the 30 teams, because I'm not counting tonight's Monday night game, 22 of the 30 teams are within 3 games, one way or the other, of 500 against the spread. So it is very, very difficult to be successful betting in the NFL. So when you hear these guys cringe about having to book college basketball, take note. Start studying college basketball. Thank you.
Fair.
I like it.
We're still not talking about college basketball.
Oh, we're going to.
We're going to. It's
to.
coming. It's
we're
coming.
Gonna, it's going to happen.
No, there'll be a time
I
of year
know.
for it. There'll be a time of year.
Yeah,
Hint,
no.
folks, there's 120 games on Saturday. There are some gems you can find.
There'll be 10 tickets on most of it.
Hopefully we're not losing on them, though. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't want to be losing on those sides,
And it
man.
ain't the fucking public. That's the problem. The public's on 3 of those 122s, and it's those other.
Well, they're just
Yeah,
throwing-
they're on
100
Kentucky,
games.
Kansas, and Duke. I know.
Yeah, they parlay them, and that's the end of it.
Well, they're still throwing Cal State Fullerton, like, late game on their par.
Oh,
like,
the late,
they're
hold
still
on.
throwing
the
it.
late game's a whole nother
Oh.
thing. Yeah,
Well, no. Like,
Because
they'll
when
throw-
Duke goes down, they're like, "What's on the board?"
Well, they're still throwing, like, the big teams on
Who's
with
the
teams they don't
favorite?
know. They're like, they seem
You
like
guys
they're
must
good.
love
we get
when-
Fave and
Might-
Ove.
when you
might be
see
able-
those
yeah, Fave
tickets
and
and you
Fave
see-
and Ove.
When you see those tickets in the last games, the Cal Baptist Lancers.
Oh,
it's
man.
brutal.
A whack conference.
You really got to give the late guy a credit. You got to pay attention a little bit.
Yeah.
All right. Might take a minute. It may take 2 minutes, but
Here we go.
I don't give a fuck.
Yep.
All right. Holiday times are a reminder for me that life is about family and friends. And I've been blessed my whole life. I'm the oldest of 5. Holidays were a very special time for us. I grew up in a retail business, dealing with customers, dealing with returns the week after Christmas. It is hard. It's a lot of pressure. But I'm always reminded every year, and like I have 3 daughters of my own now, 16, 14, and 5. So I get to revisit this every year. And it's just been an absolute blast. And the friends part of it, I had a card game when I graduated college that I went to every Sunday night. And I played cards with guys that we nicknamed Moses, Hat, Rat, Killer, Mower, Shoop, Bomber, and the Beak. This was Sunday can't miss television in person. We lost or won $50 was a big night. We played a game called Oh Hell. But it was everybody's gathering place. And around the holidays, we would all bring each other gag gifts and fun shit. And we kept that game together for 7 years, which is impossible. We played in barbershop basements. We played in back rooms of bars. We played in people's porches late at night. But we all got together. And I just wanted to tell you guys, this show has become that card game for me. It's been tremendous. And I think our listeners get it. We bring something that you can't make. We bring something that if you have, you cherish, and it's special. And I just want to thank you guys for the weekly, creative outlet, the weekly therapy session that this is, the joy that I get listening back to the episode every week. I hope you guys get on the other end of this because I laugh my ass off. And I listen to it 3 and 4 times. When I hear you say something and it makes me laugh, and then I hear your response and I can't get enough of it, and then you come and chime in and say something, and then he's in the back just holding up the fucking time and telling you got to go, and he's making us laugh, and if somebody bangs the table, I'm literally scared. You can't make this shit up. And this shit is just kind of organic, and it creates. And yeah, I'm fucked up. I got note cards all over the place. We're running different places all the time. We got real jobs for now. We're going to get there, but we get there every week. And I can't tell you guys enough whether we do it on Monday or whether we do it on Tuesday. When that game kicks off on Sunday night, I can't wait to come see you guys every week. And I just wanted to tell you personally, for everyone else to hear too, thank you. Thank you for listening to the show. Thank you for following us on Twitter. Keep growing this thing. I think there's something special here. And for the people that are listening that can help us, call us, DM us, email us, whatever you need to do. Help us, because hopefully we've helped you this football season, and I think we can all help each other, this holiday season. So, not getting preachy, HB. I'm just speaking from the heart.
Thank you.
And I just wanted to close out the show like that. It's been a great year. It's the end of 2019. I cannot fucking believe it.
End of a decade.
Yeah. It's the end of a lot of things, but it's a beginning of a lot of things. And that's just life, right? I mean, that's life. So I'm just going to sign off the show. You guys good with that?
Yeah.
All right. We're running up against it. Thank you. At GT Cash Consider on Twitter is the show. Follow the show, share the show, rate the show, review the show. My man, AB, at %Berg on Twitter. He's signing off. We got Mo. You provide some energy that I can't even describe, brother.
That's
I
not
love
real.
It.
I don't
No,
do that.
it is.
No, I'm kidding.
It is.
I appreciate it, man. Thank you, man.
He is at These Takes. Reynolds, you're the glue to the show. I mean, it's thankless. There's just so much shit that goes on over there with all these wires. Listen, if you guys need anything, production-wise, stuff like that, just hit Reynolds up, because he is the fucking man. And, Howard, we give you shit all the time, and, it's been a pleasure to get to know you, and you've provided a place for us to do it, and we just want to recognize that as well. So thank you. He's at Gaming Today News. If those of you aren't following Howard on Twitter, at Gaming Today News on Twitter is his Twitter handle. And mine, for at least 2019 still, is still Sportsbook Consigliere, where I've listened to people talk, and I love listening to people. But you guys have given me this forum to talk to you, and I really fucking love it. At SportsBK Consig. That's going to do it. Merry Christmas. Happy holidays. Happy New Year. We are out. Thank you.
Take care.